Well, hello fellow traitors. Welcome to a little The Traitors UK All-Star season. So, a while ago I've been looking out to see if there's any The Traitors custom simulators out there, as I am a bit of a die-hard fan of The Traitors. And there weren't many I was able to find, but I found a really good one called Traitor Town. The link to that will be in the description if you want to play around with it, but essentially it's the perfect way to create your own custom seasons of The Traitors. So, what I did to create this all-star cast was I pegged 20 men and 20 women for the 5 seasons that we've had. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and of course the first Celebrity Traitors season. Then I put the men and the women into a wheel and spun it 13 times for the men and 30 times for the women to give us our final 26 that will make the cut. So here is the list of players that could have been in the season that didn't make the final cut. Now, take note, as a good portion of them are winners. So quite a few surprises that did make the cut and a few surprises that didn't make the cut. So now, let me give you the list of the players that did make the final cut. So, we have Aaron Evans, Wilfred Webster, Kieran Thompsett, Madeline Smedley, Amanda Lovett, Alex Gray, Tom Elderfield, Nikki Wilding, Jazz Singh, Zach Davis, Paul Gorton, Anthony Matherin, Leanne Quigley, Jake Brown, Anna Duke, Linda Rands, Fozia Fazil, Kasim Ahmed, Nick Mohammed, Celia Imre, Ruth Codd, Paloma Faith, Stephen Libby, Faraz Noor, Jesse Stride, and Fiona Hughes. So, after these 26 players were chosen for the All-Star season, they were put into another wheel and were spun 4 times to find out who will be our 4 traitors. I can reveal the first traitor selected was Nick Mohammed. The second traitor to have been chosen was Tom Elderfield. Traitor number 3 was Jake Brown. And the 4th and final traitor was Faraz Noor. So, you have our cast, you now know our 4 traitors. Without further ado, let's get into the season simulator and see who will be the Traitors UK All-Stars winners. And here we go. This is the Traitors UK All-Stars season underway, and as you can see, 4 traitors, 22 faithfuls, with the traitors being Faraz, Jake, Nick, and Tom. And without further ado, let's get started with this All-Star season. So Tom and Jake are not fully aligned this morning, which is not a good start because they're both traitors. They're different, neither say out loud, but it is there. So not a good start for Tom and Jake as traitors, as they don't have a good relationship with each other right off the bat. Stephen have a harder morning than they're letting on. Something said at breakfast landed badly. They retreat to the castle grounds alone. So, oh dear, not good. So some people not off to the best starts. Zach finds Stephen outside and stays with them. Fozia turns up 10 minutes later with tea. Nobody mentioned it. Stephen notices exactly who showed up. So a good relationship between Zach and Fozia right off the bat. So that might come in handy for them in this game. Jesse discovers a locked drawer in the library desk. The key is nowhere to be found. So I wonder what Jesse could be finding. And then we've got Fozia pulling Kieran aside where Luke says, "Don't repeat this." What follows is a thoroughly high specific, entirely ungenerous assignment of Nikki. So a good relationship between Fozia and Kieran, but not a good relationship with Nikki. Okay, so spot of drama right there. And Leanne tells Aaron that they've been tracking. Aaron adds 2 more observations. Together it's a complete picture and Kieran is at the centre of it. So the winner of season 1 and the winner of season 3 already suspicious about Kieran, which is interesting to see. And then we've got Stephen, Celia and Jesse are going together. 3 of us vote together, we're untouchable. So possibility of an alliance going on between Celia, Jesse and Stephen. Now that Stephen seems to be off to a great start getting some relationships going here. And the secret shields being won by Stephen. So not only has he got a bit of drama, he's also seems to have an alliance going on and a few friendships going on, and now he's got the first shield of the season. He might be protected from murder, but of course he could still be banished, though I don't think it's going to be likely with how it's going for him right off the bat. Castle evening before the round table. So we got Aaron and Wilfred checking on each other before the round table, which I guess is very fitting because they both made it to the finale in their season, which is in season 1. There are things unsaid, but Aaron decides to say them. And a bit more with them. Something said can't be unsaid. They sit with it. By the time the round table starts, there's a crack in something that was solid yesterday. So Aaron and Wilfred stretched together, but it seems to have not gone well between them. And here we go. Here we've got fellow traitor Tom and Zach. Tom has already made a decision. Zach. So Tom is trying to stir up something on Zach, see if he can get him banished tonight. Nothing else to think about. And then we've got Anna rehearsing a roundtable speech. So many times that she accidentally repeats the same sentence twice to someone who doesn't notice yet, though not telling us who it is that she said that in front of. And Leanne over to Aaron and Kieran, saying, count how many real alliances Kieran has right now. And okay, so Leanne is saying to Aaron, asking Aaron how many alliances Kieran's got. Aaron says he doesn't have an alliance, so they think Kieran could be a traitor. So that would be interesting if they go after him tonight. And now we've got more suspicion with Stephen again. Keeps gravitating back to Jake in conversation. So Stephen is suspicious on Jake, and Jake is a traitor. So Stephen, right on fire this first episode of this All-Star season here. And here we go. I want everyone to know I don't trust Anna. Okay, so Kasim doesn't trust Anna for some reason. The words are hanging in the air. And now because he said it out loud, both of them have their suspicions raised. Got heat on both of them, both Kasim and Anna. So that could go horribly wrong for the two of them. And Leanne, Aaron and Kieran together here. Plan comes together faster than Leanne expected. And so Leanne and Aaron they've got a relationship going between them, and it looks like they are both hell-bent on trying to get Kieran voted out. Then we got Linda spending 10 minutes explaining her foolproof strategy to the camera crew, who are not allowed to respond. Well, as long as you can do that behind the camera rather than when her season, she should be okay. And what we got here? Paloma is agreeing with Wilfred's read on Anna. So Paloma and Wilfred got a good relationship going between the two of them, and both of them are suspicious as hell on Anna. So Anna is another person that seems to be at risk of getting banished. And Jazz is making his case to Wilfred. So quite a few. So it seems Wilfred's seems to have got two people going over to him with two different names. They got Jazz, who's wanting to go after Zach. And Paloma wants to go after Anna. So this is an interesting predicament Wilfred sees himself in. So suspicions on Zach, suspicion on Anna. So it could be Zach, Anna, or Kieran that could be going with how this is playing out. And we're at the round table. Everyone sits. Fire crackles. Accusation starts to begin. And oh wow, Kieran is already looking like he's in massive amounts of trouble already. But Zach is not in the best positions either. So looks like it could be 15-7 votes. Leanne heading the charge on Kieran. Jazz heading leading the charge on getting rid of Zach. There we go. People say personal, it's not. I just happen to have Kieran set up close and multiple separate players actively distrust him. Well, you seem to have really got them on your side here, and well, then Jazz is saying that Zach reason on Zach is bad relationship. Leanne on Kieran for bad relationship as well. They have had a problem with me since day one. That is not evidence, that is a grudge. Well, fair enough. I have watched Zach very carefully. I do not like what I see. Tonight is the right call. Or the very first round table. This is personal and everyone can see it. Do not let someone else's agenda take you off track. And we got here number one target, Kieran, widely distrusted, and Zach also widely distrusted. So let's see how it goes here. Deliberation, words chosen carefully or not carefully enough. And, well, if I try and read all this, it's going to be here all day, so... tracking because I've got receipts. Well, it's interesting opening there, Nikki. You know what? I clocked something with Kieran earlier. I wasn't going to say it. I lied. I absolutely was going to say it. Damn Fosia. I'm going to be specific. Kieran has been aligned with at least 3 different blocks since we got here. None of those alignments have held. At this point, at some point, that stops being coincidence. So Leanne's got a really bad relationship with Kieran, and also Kieran's also being hit even harder here. Kieran, you want to talk suspicions, fine, but anyone writes money on the card, look at Zach, I mean, actually look at him. So they're trying to throw the suspicion onto Zach now just to try and save himself. I'm going to be very direct, this is the wrong move. The people in this room who know that and stay quiet will have to live with it. So that response actually got the suspicion levels on Kieran down quite considerably, but will that be enough to keep him in? And I've seen Kieran drop people when it suited them, no hesitation. I'm wondering when our numbers comes up. And well, that's not gone well for Nikki here, because that seems to have completely backfired on her, trying and put more pressure onto Kieran here. So that could go. No, I don't know how that's going to go for Nikki if that's going to rack up votes going her way. The relationship have been inconsistent in a way that has logic to it. If you assume Kieran's managing multiple versions of himself, so Linda managing to put more heat onto Kieran here. Before we lock in, is anyone else followed by how relaxed Zach looks right now? Because I am. And now Nick Mohammed is now pushing heat onto Zach, so I don't know where this is going to go, but I still think it might be Kieran that's maybe in trouble with Zach's not in a comfortable position exactly here. Let's not get distracted. We can talk about Zach after. Right now we have a decision to make. I hear the room, I just disagree with the room, Zach. That's my read, and I'll own it. So Madeline and Jazz here might be a bit rattled here, I think. Ruth, let me walk through it, not the feeling, the actual evidence, because I've been watching Kieran just as closely and I'm not seeing the same thing. So now Ruth is going into Kieran's defense, and it looks like Kieran's might have gotten a lifeline from Ruth. In fact, seems to have built a relationship between the two of them, but will that be enough to keep him? Hard to say. We've got from Zach. I think I know where everyone's heads tonight, and I think if we're honest, the room's already made its choice, which is true. Fine, make the mistake, but when you find out I was right, I need you to remember this exact moment. And wow, suspicion shifted. So Kieran looking like he might have got some suspicion off him, and I'm guessing he's putting it on to Zach, but we'll see how it's going to go here. Okay, Celia closes it off, saying we're doing this, if we're wrong, we'll deal with it. And here we go, and I'll read the votes. So the vote here has voted for Kieran. Fellow Chair Tom has voted for Zach. Amanda has voted for another chair. Where has this come from? Faraz got a vote from Amanda. Okay. I'm not sure how Faraz ended up getting heat on him, but somehow someone's voted for him. And we've got Anna, not surprisingly, has voted for Kieran. And we've got Anthony voting for Zach. And Fiona has voted for Faraz as well. So two votes Kieran, 2 votes Zach, and 2 votes Faraz. Alex has voted for Kieran. And Paloma has voted for Zach. Nick has voted for Faraz. So we've got a traitor voting a traitor at the very first round table. Oh, that is Faraz stays, then him and Nick are gonna have a few words, I imagine. Jesse has voted for Kieran. Kasim has voted for Zach. Kieran has voted for Faraz. So I thought Kieran was going to vote Zach just to keep himself in the game, but no, he shifted to Faraz. So now it's 4 votes Kieran, 4 votes Zach, and 4 votes Faraz. Faraz has voted for Kieran. Jazz has voted for Zach. Zach has voted for Kieran. Wilfred voted for Zach. Leanne voted for Kieran. Ruth has voted for Zach. Celia has voted for Kieran, so it's 8 votes Kieran, 7 votes Zach, and 4 votes Faraz. Jake has voted for Kieran, so that's 9 votes for Kieran. Paul has voted for Kieran, so with 5 votes remaining, and Kieran is at 10 votes, Zach's at 7. Stephen has voted for Kieran, so let's see what happens here. Aaron's voted for Kieran, okay, so that means Kieran has been banished no matter what. Nikki voted for Kieran. Madeline voted for Kieran. And Linda voted for Kieran. So 15 votes for Kieran, 7 votes for Zach, and surprisingly 4 votes for Faraz. Wow, that is interesting of how this is played out. And the group agrees to trust for now. Rounds deliberation in a stalemate, no conclusion to reach. No one is going home tonight. So, despite Kieran receiving the most votes, he is not being banished. He survives this first round table. But he's got his work out if he wants to save himself in case he does get banished for real this next time. Tomorrow night, the door closes the door. Tom leans back and exhales. Nobody heard anything. Everyone's fine. So, who are we getting rid of? Jake wants to get rid of Kieran, which I think is a really bad move because Kieran did receive the majority of the votes. Tom is agreeing it should be Kieran. No one changes their mind between now and tomorrow. And Tom also says when he finds out who's gone, looks sad, not shocked, sad, shocked, looks like you were expecting it. Okay, so it looks like it's going to be Kieran's going to be murdered, which seems to be a backwards move in my opinion, but we'll see. And Kieran has indeed been murdered. That's crazy. Okay, so the most suspicious player is Zach. Quite a comfortable margin. Anna's got quite a bit of suspicion on her, so she's going to a heap of bother. And everyone else seems to be, well, a little bit suspicious on Jake, Kasim, Nick, Faraz, and Nikki. But everyone else is either neutral. Is anyone? Nope, not at all. So that is Kieran out. So, not how I thought it was going to go, but for some reason they decided the best move was to get rid of the player who got the most votes. Anyway, let's see what happens next. And Castle starts her life. Leanne appears in the doorway, glances around, and takes her seat. And quietly, Fozia strives with purpose. Paloma wanders in, still half asleep. Okay, no, that's not great for her. Zach slipping in quietly, nods at no one. Okay, Alex is first down, helping himself to tea before anyone else arrives. And that's when they know that Kieran is out of this game. Kasim has to excuse himself a moment. When he comes back, they look different. Probably regret, or maybe he's trying to, or maybe he feels like he may be may been set up. Steven says the name of the missing player quietly, just once saying nothing. Interesting. Jake breaks down first. Right then, who's going to see what we're all thinking? So, suspicion shift. So, wonder who's trying to shift the suspicion on. No, it's not going to tell us. But if I had to guess, could be Faraz, or it could be Zach, could be Anna actually. And looks at the traitors without knowing they are looking at the traitors. Fiona looks almost too calm about it. Oh no, doing the exact reverse on her season, but like in that season, not for the right reasons. Come back to the top. Okay, so 2 traitors, so Tom and Jake not getting on with each other here, so that's not good. Not wrong, just how Tom would have played it, they file it away. That's Toe and Jake could be at each other's throats, so we could get our first traitor banishment sooner than later. Leanne and Madeline find themselves in a long wandering conversation in the castle library, so with Madeline and Leanne both getting a good relationship going on between the two of them here. Alex had planned to spend the afternoon with Leanne. They find them mid-laugh with Madeline instead and quietly reroute. Something about this is wrong for the rest of the day, so Alex and Leanne, something's gone badly sour for the two of them here. And we've got more drama here with Amanda pulling Nikki aside and talking about Stephen. And Charbel is catty. Nikki is a willing audience, so Amanda and Nikki have got a good relationship here, but Amanda and Stephen got a bit of a bad relationship going on between the two of them, so Amanda is suspicious about Stephen, though Stephen was well on the ball in the first episode with his relationships and his alliances, so something's clear, so it looks like the wheels are turning here. It gives back to Stephen, it always gets back. Stephen finds Amanda later and makes clear quietly and precisely that they know exactly what was said. So a bit of suspicion is now raised on Amanda, and the relationship between Amanda and Stephen has plummeted quite badly. Oh god. And Ruth is pulling people aside one by one to make the case that Faraz is not the one, it's not a campaign, it just seems to matter to them. The group notices who is defending Faraz, and that's not helping, so Ruth is trying to defend Faraz, but Ruth has done a bad job of it. Now people are starting to think Faraz is a traitor, which is not good for Faraz at all. Oh dear. Paloma and Aaron are comparing notes with Anna. Separately, both have had the same quiet conversation with each other. The room is moving, so it looks like people are suspicious on Anna, so Anna could be in trouble of getting banished. And in fact, yeah, Janice watches Anna react to mention of last night's murder and clocks something that other people seem to have not noticed, and so even more suspicion is raised on Anna. So Anna, I think, could end up being banished with where things are going. And Paloma Faith has won the shield, so she cannot be murdered. So well done to Paloma Faith. Castle leaving before the round table. This is crazier than I thought it was going to end up being. Fothia finds Paul before the round table. Conversation is calm. The subject is Madeline. By the end, Paul is nodding, so Fothia seems to be pull Paul aside, and it looks like she's trying to convince him that Madeline could be a traitor, and the suspicion is that seems to have been raised on her. Madeline watches Fothia move throughout the group. They're not sure what's being said. They have a pretty good idea. The look Madeline gives Fothia over dinner is unmistakable, so Madeline is not having it with Fothia, so the relationship has gone badly for the two of them here. The strategy here between Aaron and Alex. They check on each other. There are things unsaid. Aaron decides to say them. So testing an alliance between the two of them, see if they can trust each other. And uncovers for a minute, then Alex says, "We're good," and it seems to have gone well. So +1 the relationship between the two of them. Anthony and Celia both claim to have slept fine last night. They both have the same dark circles. Neither pushed it, and well, that comedy relief from Celia, as you probably expect from her. Seems to have a good relationship between Celia and Anthony here. Strategy, Paloma and Aaron do not need a long conversation. Both have watched the same thing happen with Anna, so they're both suspicious on Anna, so they may be targeting her to get banished next. Steven's lighting the tension with a well-timed comment that makes even the most wound-up players laugh, so everyone loves Steven here, clearly, which is fair enough. So a bit of heat on Steven, but I think he seems to have made up for it just for this one moment here. Strategy-wise, Paloma did not have to push hard. Aaron was already thinking about the same thing with Anna, so Paloma and Aaron are thinking on the same lines that they think Anna is a traitor. And traitor on traitor drama here. Nick starts a quiet poll of the group. What do people actually know about Jake? So Nick seems to be trying to get suspicion on a fellow traitor. So, traitor on traitor action, people. Traitor schemes. So Tom and Jake get into a visible disagreement near the dining room. Nikki clocks it. That's exactly the point. So more suspicion is on Jake. So we've got two traitors that might be after him, and Nikki has overheard a disagreement between the two of them. So Nikki thinks it could be Jake. Does she know Tom is a traitor as well? I'm not too sure. The strategy here. Jazz makes a simple observation of Wilfred. Everyone who gets close to Zach evidently pulls back. Wilfred cannot name an exception, so Zach still has quite a bit of heat on him, but I think Anna's in a worse position than Zach is, because nothing's really happened with Zach here in this episode, but a lot seems to happen to Anna, and a lot of it is bad. And then here we go, and once again, more suspicion on Anna. The three of them align on Anna before anyone else even sits down to dinner. So Anthony, Aaron, and Linda are together. So good relationship between the three of them, and more heat going on Anna's end. So Anna's clearly in a whole heap of trouble here. And it's crazy of how much heat is on her. Okay, bonding Aaron and Tom. Bring up an old accusation in front of the group. Tom doesn't back down, and everyone is watching. So Aaron's then brought something that probably shouldn't have, and now there's a very bad relationship between Tom and Aaron, and both of them have got some suspicion on each other. So Aaron, oh dear, that's one of those moments he probably shouldn't have said something. Move here. Tom and Felicity are closing in on Aaron, but not there. Fiona wants to give it one more night. Tom is not sure they have one more night. So now both of them have got a bit of suspicion on Aaron now, because I think that comment there has got Tom rattled. Well, actually put a really bad relationship on the two of them, and I think Tom is, because he's a traitor, I think he's using it to try and get Fiona on his side to turn on him, I think. Aaron and Tom argue over who to vote for. It's become clear they both want to vote for each other, and they add more suspicion on each other and really sour the relationship between the two of them. I think it's fair to say the two of them despise each other at this point, because my god. Zach is still making the case on Faraz, the composure. Jesse is close but not fully there. So Zach is going after Faraz, trying to convince Jesse. Jesse seems to be on the fence here, but there's more suspicion on Faraz's end here. Oh man, this episode was crazy. But now we're at the round table, and let's see what happens here. Oh my goodness! So I think. So Anna, I'm not surprised in a heap of trouble. Zach is also in a heap of trouble. So this is predicting an 11-10 vote. However, Aaron's got is maybe in a small bother here, because his comment with Tom is clearly sour to the point where he could be on the firing line. Faraz, I'm surprised he's still in a bit of a firing line, even though I would say he's in a much more comfortable position, but he's clearly not being able to shake off some suspicion on him. Okay. Plans for your hair. Paloma, yes, I have history. That does not make me wrong. It makes me the one paying the most attention. Hannah's saying that Paloma's had a problem with her since day one. It's just a grudge. Jazz saying people will say it's personal. It's not. I just happen to see Zach up close, and multiple separate players actually distrust him. And Zach saying this is personal and everyone can see it. Do not let someone else's agenda take you off track. And Tom saying, I have watched Aaron very carefully. I do not really see tonight is the right cause, though. Tom and Aaron really on a really sour note with each other. This is personal, everyone can see it. Do not let someone else's agenda take you off track. And Zach, who still got a heat of him, spearheading on Faraz. I've been watching Faraz very closely, especially Cam, under enormous pressure. My name is in the mix, fine, but ask yourself who benefits from me leaving. Well, the faithful, Faraz, because you're a traitor. Okay, so Anna, Jude, and Zach both high danger, widely distrusted. Aaron is at a bit of risk being a social outcast. Multiple players have quietly distanced themselves from Aaron, and Faraz being suspiciously calm under enormous pressure. Suspicious behaviour, bad relationship. Okay, deliberation's got a lot here. Man, just wait. Right, I'm going first. Someone has to scan a table as they're already certain. Aaron's at an opening. Something Anna said today has been stuck in my head. Not what they said, how they said it. And Nick Mahar going with what they said, and I want to add something to it before we get to specifics. Alright, Paloma starts off by pointing the finger at Anna. I have watched the room move around Anna quite a few days, people pulling back without saying why. I am saying why tonight. My vote is for Anna. So the relationship between her and Anna is worsened even more, and more suspicions on Anna. Anna's very voice. I'm not going to beg, but before you decide, Faraz, just think about Faraz for 60 seconds. And now, okay, so she is shifting the suspicion onto Faraz. If she can somehow pull it off and get Faraz banished, I'll be genuinely amazed with how much fire has been thrown at Anna in this second episode here. I've been quiet because I've been watching, and I know who's voting for me before the cards come out. So, managing to reduce the suspicion more than what Paloma was able to inflict onto Anna, but that's not. But no, it's not. That itself is not going to be enough. I've seen Anna drop people when it suited them, no hesitation. I'm wondering when our number comes up. Oh, and that's completely backfired because he came into there way too quickly, and now Steven's put a bit of heat on himself. Not good. Floating, never fully committing. I wrote it off as a personality thing for a long time. I don't think it's that. And now Paul is trying to add, is putting more suspicion back on Anna to try and so not quite undoing this amount here. Though she managed to undo that, but it's still so Anna's going to end up with a bit more suspicion than she started. I want to mention Zach from Tom, not because I'm trying to change the subject, but because something they did yesterday is stuck in my head. So Tom is putting suspicion onto Zach. And with respect, no, my vote is Zach, and I am not moving. So Jazz is hell bent on voting for Zach tonight. No, it's Tom. I have not stopped thinking about Aaron. So Tom is using Aaron as a carrot plan. So Tom's either going to vote for Zach or Aaron here. The conversation keeps moving past it, but I keep coming back to Aaron. Not surprising how bad your relationship is between the two of you. Zach, I have not stopped thinking about Faraz either. The conversation keeps moving past it, but I keep coming back to him. So Zach, still thinking of getting rid of Faraz, possibly? Anna's now looking at Jesse. You know me, out of everyone in this room, you actually know me. So Anna's trying to use Jesse to try and get some suspicion off of her. So you can try and dump it onto someone else. Probably most likely going to be Zach. I don't know how everyone's so certain. Anna has been one of the most useful people here. You're throwing that away on a vibe. That's coming from Fothia. So Fothia and Anna's got a stronger bond here, and managed to get a whole heap of suspicion off of her as well. So that it can help out Anna. But will that be enough? That's the question. Tension between Anna and Paloma. Oh man. Things just getting bad to worse between Anna and Paloma. Like, another -2 relationship. Wait, are we like -10 relationships between the two of them? Like, but they absolutely hate each other here. Yeah, so long with before the conversation moves on. So it looks like Anna is Anna thinking of going for Paloma, which you could, but who else is going to vote for her? Jesse, we've been wrong before about Kieran. Well, Kieran received the most votes, didn't get banished, but got murdered. I just think about that in the room. So Jesse is really seems to be struggling here. It doesn't suggest who she's going for, but I had to guess. It might be Faraz. Are we doing this or not? Because I've got a read on it, and it's Anna. Someone confirm or fight me. So Fothia, hell-bent on trying to get Anna banished. Anna sits back. Whenever you're ready to try and shift some suspicion. Who on to? Fothia. Is he trying to shift suspicion to Fothia, which I guess is understandable? And Leanne's saying, looks like Anna is definitely going to say saying she's voting for Anna. Jazz has made his mind up, and Leanne just says cards, so I think Leanne is throwing her cards into vote for her. Okay. Oh boy, I still think it's going to be Anna, though. It could be anyone after all that. So Nikki is voting for Anna. Oh, Jesse has voted for Faraz after all, so Faraz in trouble. Jake has voted for Zach, so one Zach, one Anna, one Faraz. Stephen has voted for Aaron, so one vote for Aaron, one vote for Zach, one vote for Anna, and one vote for Faraz. Paul has voted for Anna. Zach has voted for Faraz. Amanda's voted for Zach. And Fiona's voted for Aaron, so 2 votes for Aaron, 2 votes for Zach, 2 votes for Aaron, 2 votes for Faraz. Alex has voted for Anna. Aaron has voted for Faraz. Fozia has voted for Zach. I'm surprised she didn't vote for Anna, honestly. Tom has voted for Aaron, so it's 3 votes for Aaron, 3 votes for Zach, 3 votes for Anna, and 3 votes for Faraz. Ruth has voted for Anna. Celia has voted for Zach. Nick has voted for Anna. Linda has voted for Zach. Anthony's voted for Anna. Madeline's voted for Zach, so it's 6 votes for Zach, 6 votes for Anna, 3 votes for Aaron, and 3 votes for Faraz. Leanne's voted for Anna. Wilfred has voted for Zach. Paloma's voted for Anna. Anna's voted for Zach, so 8 votes for Zach, 8 votes for Anna with 3 votes to go. Faraz has voted for Anna. And Jazz has voted for Zach, so it's coming down to the final vote. Oh, Zach has been banished! Damn! I'm surprised Anna made it. I was so certain she was going to be done for in this round table, but no. With 10 votes, it's Zach that gets banished. What a crazy vote that has turned out to be. Both been cast. They were faithful. The traitors can breathe easily, and so Zach is the first player banished from this season. Okay, back at the turret. Tom with same prey right now. Faraz absolutely is not. He's been voted for in both round tables. So if there's anyone that's not saying prey, it's Faraz. Not the obvious one. They'll get voted down at the table eventually. Ruth is flying under the radar. That's the one we can't afford to let stick. So Nick is thinking of getting rid of Ruth. Faraz, no, I'm not doing this. I want to get rid of Fiona. They've been clocking us for days and nobody's saying but me, apparently. Tom's going cute take. We're staying on Ruth. Save the drama for someone who has time for... Oh, Tom and Faraz are not having it with each other. So they're looking like it's going to be Ruth that's going to get murdered. Ruth and Anthony's been murdered. It's a double murder. 2 players have been murdered. Okay, so we've lost Ruth and we've lost Anthony. Oh boy, so that's definitely gonna shake things up a lot. Okay, things stand. Aaron is the most suspicious player. Anna is not the most suspicious player now, but she's not far behind Aaron here. Oh man, look at all these stats here, it's crazy. Faraz is in a heap of bother for sure. There's Tom who's got quite a bit of suspicion on him. Jazz has got quite a bit of suspicion on him. Jake's got some suspicion. Madeline, Amanda, they've got quite a bit of suspicion on them. Wilfred, Linda, Fozia, Celia, and Fiona, not too much suspicion on them. It looks like Nick is sitting pretty here, -1 suspicion, so he's like in a really comfortable spot, especially compared to a lot of the players here. Steven's got a little bit of suspicion on him, but not a lot. Nikki, hardly got any suspicion at all. Kasim, Alex, Paul, Leanne, Pilo, and Jesse, none of them have suspicions at all. And Zach, wow, 3.7 suspicion. That's a lot of suspicion that was put on him, and and that's what got him bashed in the end. Anthony and Ruth had no suspicion on them, which I guess makes sense in that context why they got murdered. So, all 4 traitors are still in. 18 faithful, 4 traitors. Tom comes in clutching their mug like a shield and takes the siege fast from the door. Paloma appears in the doorway, glances around, takes a seat. Fosia drifting in late eye contact with nobody, sitting down. Fraz comes in mid-conversation with himself and goes quiet when the other players notice, which I don't think is a good. Well, I guess he's talking to himself because, well, he's got so much suspicion on him. Amanda's wandering in, still half asleep, and dropping to a chair without a word. Anna is shuffling in, pouring coffee, staring at the window for a long moment. And that's when they've realised Ruth and Anthony have both been murdered. As they excuse themselves for a moment, come back, look different. Aaron pushes the food around their plate, not eating any of it. Nikki counts the chairs without saying anything, her jaw tightening, so that's got a bit of suspicion on somebody, though I don't know if it's definitely not on her, but it's definitely on somebody. Jazz breaking the silence. Right then, who's going to see what we're all thinking? So Jazz is shifting the suspicion. I'm guessing it might be on to... who's it going to be? Might be on to Anna, still probably. Anna immediately looks around the table, reading every face, so she's got a suspicion on somebody. Though not going to tell us who, but I think it could be on Aaron or Faraz. Okay. Before anyone starts, Tom and Jake meet in the shadows of the castle corridor. Anna is getting suspicious. So both of them have got their anger suspicion onto Anna, and it seems to have a bit of a relationship between the two of them. Though Tom and Jake, I think are still on pretty bad terms with each other. I can imagine, because Tom and Jake were not in the best of friends in the previous episode. Tom and Fosia find themselves in a long wandering conversation in the castle library, the kind that ends with both of them laughing too loudly. So Tom and Fosia got a bit of positivity there. So Tom off to a positive start with Jake and a bit of positivity from Fosia. Celia had planned to spend the afternoon with Tom. They find them mid-laugh with Fosia instead. And so Celia and Tom have got a bit of a relationship-wise has gone a bit down between the two of them. So that's not set well with Celia. So that's not great. Okay, so 3 of them try to cook something from scratch in the castle kitchen. The result is inedible. And so Tom, Paul, and Jake try to cook together, and it's gone horribly wrong. And yet they somehow end up in good terms with each other. So Tom, I think Tom seems to be trying to repair the damage he did with his friendship with Jake, which is going to be quite vital because they're both supposed to be on the same side, the treacherous side. Paloma's telling Aaron what they've been tracking. Aaron adds 2 more observations. Together is a complete picture, and they think Anna is a traitor. So Paloma and Aaron have got suspicions on Anna. Paloma and Aaron, I think I'm trying to keep track of it, but I think they're on good terms with each other, if I remember rightly, Paloma and Aaron, though I think it got a bit wary towards the round table, but Aaron and Paloma seem to be in a good relationship with each other. Madeline's helping Leanne write a letter home. It's become a 2-hour-long conversation neither expected to have, so good relationship between Madeline and Leanne. And shields 1, Jake and Nick have 1 shield, so we've got 2 traitors that are protected from murder, but it doesn't matter because they're both traitors, so that comes in handy for the 2 of them. Strategy. Leanne finds Paul before the round table. The conversation is calm, and both Leanne and Paul still think are pretty sure one of the traitors is Anna. Anna is watching Leanne move throughout the group. They're not sure what's been said, but whatever's been said, it's gone bad between the 2 of them, and got a pretty bad relationship between Anna and Leanne. I don't trust you, and I haven't for a while, Madeline says to Fosia. The feeling's mutual. Okay, so Madeline and Fosia are really at each other's throats here, and they both have got a suspicion of each other, so possibly Madeline, possibly Fosia could go after each other, but I think Anna is still in a bit of trouble. I think Aaron is not out of the woods yet, but Faraz, I don't think he's out of the woods either, so who knows, honestly. Aaron's got the same reading Anna. They've been waiting for someone else to name it first. Now they do not have to. So Aaron has been wanting someone else to confirm suspicions, and Paloma's done that. So more suspicion is on Anna's end here. And Traitor's scheming. Jake is challenges something Tom has said in front of Alex. Okay, so it looked like it was on the up between the two of them, but now it's gone badly wrong again between the two traitors, and now suspicion is on Jake. And because Alex is in front of Alex, so now Alex is might be thinking about getting rid of Jake as well. So Traitor and Traitor scheming right there. So plan's coming faster than Paloma's expected. Aaron is ahead of them on Anna, so Aaron and Paloma on really good terms with each other, for sure. And it looks like they're both going to be working together to try and get Anna banished this time. And what's happening here? We say nothing at the round table. Anna is whispering. We let others come to us. Then we all. So Anna is trying to go for Nick. Okay, I don't. Okay, that's surprising because that is. Okay, well, I don't know where that's come from, but I don't think there was nothing really nothing a note for Nick at this point. So this seems a bit out of nowhere that Anna wants to go for Nick. Two people this line on one of them is about nervous, not about a target. So it seems that Anna and Tom built a good friendship with each other about it, they agreed to it, but it's whatever happened within this conversation is backfired on Tom. Suspicions on Tom, but not on Anna, interestingly. So whatever Tom said, whatever Tom said, it's gone back to bite him, and that could put him in a bad position. Okay, now Jesse's telling Anna what to watch for tonight. So Anna is wanting to go for Nick. Now Jesse's going over to Anna wanting to get rid of Faraz. So Anna's wanting to go for one traitor. Now Anna's wanting to go. Now someone wants to go to Anna for go after another traitor. So suspicion is on Faraz, which I knew Faraz was not in a safe spot still, and I think there's a possibility this alone could end this game because he's been in serious trouble from all the round tables up to this point. Especially Anna corners Nick before the round table. Where were you last night? Nick's answer doesn't satisfy Anna. The room turns slightly. Anna reads his agenda, not reads his agenda. So Anna's trying to corner Nick to try and put him under pressure, and it's completely backfiring, and so there's now more suspicion on Anna. That is something she did not need, and I think so. Now I'm starting to think it could be either Anna or Faraz that's going to get banished next. Kasim barely touches his dinner. When asked what is wrong, they say nothing. Everything about them screams otherwise. So something's bothered Kasim, but he's not willing to share it. So I wonder what's going on Kasim's mind here. Fiona's not going to pretend the social picture around Aaron's normal, it's not, and tonight everyone's going to have their say when they stand. So Fiona has got some suspicion on Aaron, so Fiona might be trying to get him banished tonight. So I think if there's one's in trouble, it's going to be. I think it's going to be Aaron, Anna, and an outside chance for Raz. We'll see what the prediction is. Okay, that is quite decisive. So it's predicting 18-3-1 vote on Anna to get banished. Too dangerous, Faraz suspicious behaviour, and Aaron with a bad relationship with Fiona of all players. Definitely getting that Anna's dangerous. I am not changing that view now. So Paloma trying to lead the charge to get Anna out of this game. Coming from me, and I genuinely do not understand why this is a mistake. Well, it would be, but oh boy, Anna, you're really up creek with no paddle here. Faraz has been acting strange since we arrived. They suspiciously come under enormous pressure. Jesse leading the charge to try and get Faraz banished. No friends out there, but I'm not going anywhere without a fight. Well, I don't think you'll need to do much of a fight, because if there's one person needs a fight, and fight like hell, it's Anna. People will say it's personal, it's not. I just have to see Aaron up close, and multiple players are quite distant themselves. They've had a problem with me since day one. don't think that's true. That's not anything that's a grudge. I don't think Fiona had a problem with you, Aaron. It's just up to this point. So, So, oh man, Anna widely distrusted. Multiple third players actively distrust Anna. Faraz suspiciously come under enormous pressure. And Aaron for being a social outcast. Multiple players have quietly distanced from Aaron, which is not nice. Poor Aaron here. Linda, I feel there's someone in this room who already knows what I'm going to say. That's fine, say it with me. And Leanne opens with saying it's Anna, and that she's definitely going for Anna here. I feel that I've been dreading this conversation all day, and also desperate for this conversation, which in my head that sounds contradictory, Stephen, but whatever you say. Paloma's looking at Anna. You and I both know this conversation was always going to happen. I'm just the one actually having it. So Paloma immediately going after Anna, which is not too surprising. Paloma following saying Anna's gotta go. It's not a feeling of circulation. Multiple third players have actively distrust Anna. But Paloma's delivery is off, and now that's backfired on Paloma, so there's now some heat on Paloma herself. So, oh dear, Paloma. Anna doesn't raise her voice. I'm not going to beg, but before you decide, Faraz, just look about Faraz for 60 seconds. I think that's the exact same thing she said last episode, as she is trying to shift the suspicion onto an actual traitor that is Faraz. Amanda, I don't dislike Anna personally. I've watched how they've moved in this castle, and it's not how someone with nothing to hide moves. So Amanda places some more suspicion on Anna. So Anna, I think Anna is going to be screwed unless something dramatic happens here. Okay, Nick, case for the name on the tail isn't wrong, but nobody's making a case for us, and I find that very interesting. So Nick is trying to put heat on a fellow traitor. So I don't know what Nick's doing. So Nick is wanting to get one of his own teammates banished from this game. Why? What are you doing, Nick? Paloma, I hear you in Faraz, but I do, but can we finish this first conversation before we open a second one? So Paloma seems to agree with Nick here, but she wants to continue digging Anna's grave here. Well, digging Anna in a deep vote. That's going to, well, a deep pit where she's not able to get the votes to get herself out of it. With respect, no, my vote is Faraz, and I'm not moving. So Jesse is hell-bent on getting Faraz voted out. For the record, Aaron, that's where I've been all week. So Fiona is going to banish Aaron here. I'm not asking the room, I'm asking Madeline. Do you believe me? Madeline saying she does believe Anna, so that's just shifts the suspicion. So I'm guessing onto Faraz, because Anna is after Faraz. So maybe that might do something, but I don't think it's going to be enough to save her. I don't know how everyone's so certain. Anna has been one of the most useful people here. You're throwing away that on a vibe. So a good relationship between Jessie and Anna, and a good amount of suspicion actually taken off of her. Is that going to be enough? Oh, that's tough. So Amanda's going for Tom. You've been quiet tonight, Tom. I've been listening. So that's soured the relationship between Amanda and Tom. So I think Amanda is not letting Tom off the hook here. So Tom could be thrown in there. I know the room isn't going to like this, but I regret saying it. Madeline, that's all I'm putting out there. So Celia has got suspicion of Madeline now. Last time the room was certain we were wrong. I'm not saying we're wrong now. The certainty worries me. So Leanne was so certain for Anna, but it looks like Leanne is now certainty is being shaken a wee bit. So that's not that's going to be. So this could end up shifting more than I imagine it's always going to be. I think I know where everyone's heads tonight, and I think if we're honest, the room already has made a choice. That's my thought going into this deliberation, but now I'm not so sure. I think Anna's still going to get banished, but it's certainly taken away the certainty of who I thought was going to go. I said everything I can say. If the evidence is enough, I don't know what would be. Vote how you're going to vote out. So bit more suspicion shifted. I'm still not convinced it's enough, but we'll see how it goes. Ready? Mine's made up. Aaron's glancing at Anna, looking away, picks up his card to vote, so I think Aaron is definitely voting for Anna. I trust most of the people in this room. I'm going to keep trusting them. Okay. Let's see how this is going to go. Okay, so Jazz voted for Aaron. Leanne's voted for Anna. Okay, so Leanne has managed to stick with her original vote. Anna has voted for Faraz, so 1 vote for Aaron, 1 vote for Anna, 1 for Faraz. Fiona's voted for Aaron. Paloma's voted for Anna. We got Tom, a fellow traitor, voting for another traitor, voting for Faraz, so there's 2 votes apiece. Alex voted for Anna. Madeline has voted for Faraz. Faraz voted for Anna. Wilfred has voted for Faraz. Nikki's voted for Anna. Cassine's voted for Faraz. 5 votes Anna, 5 votes Faraz, 2 votes Aaron. Paul voted for Anna. Aaron voted for Faraz. Photius voted for Anna. Stephen's voted for Faraz, so it's 7 votes Anna, 7 votes Faraz. Amanda's voted for Anna. Jesse's voted for Faraz, 8 votes each. Linda's voted for Anna. Jake, another fellow traitor, voted for Faraz. Oh my god, the traitors are really hell-bent on getting rid of Faraz. 2 votes left. Celia's voted for Anna. It's coming down to this final vote. Nick has voted for Anna, so the only traitor that didn't vote for Faraz is Nick. So Anna has been banished with a vote of 11 to 9 to 2. Well, that was much closer. I really thought it was going to be one-sided, and it wasn't one-sided at all. That came close to being a traitor being banished. And Anna has been banished, and she was a faithful. Oh man, I can't imagine how Faraz is going to be feeling. I would imagine Faraz would be absolutely fuming that 2 of his 3 traitors voted for him. Okay, Tom, we're good, we're still good, just don't do anything stupid for the next 12 hours. You say that, you and Jake have voted for Faraz. Not the obvious one, they'll get some footage. Paloma is flying under the radar, so Paloma could get murdered here. But Faraz wants to go for Madeline. Tom saying, we're not pivoting, Paloma is the target. If you got doubts, keep them till tomorrow. Man, these traitors really do not want Faraz with them. That is the vibe I'm getting here. Tensions between Tom and Jake and Tom and Jake, I thought the relationship was going to build, but it's just come crashing back down again. So it's like, Tom doesn't trust Jake, Jake doesn't trust Tom, Jake and Nick all don't trust Faraz, Faraz doesn't trust Tom, Jake or Nick. What the hell is happening? Only Fire's gone, Luke sad, not shot said. And it looks like it's going to be Paloma's going to be murdered. Yeah, Paloma Faith, you've been murdered. Oh, that is gutting, but I guess it was always going to be that way, wasn't it? Okay, and the most suspicious player, Faraz is the most. Oh my word! The 5.2 and the next highest is only 2, and 2 of them are traitors. Faraz is in so much trouble. That is a certainty. Nick, quite a suspicion on him. Nikki, Paul, Leanne, both have got quite a suspicion on him. Tom is sitting pretty here, minus 1.1 on the suspicion scale. Aaron, a little bit of suspicion on him. Jazz is pretty much sitting pretty here, minus 1.0. Alex, a little bit of suspicion. Wilfred, Cassine, Fiona. Oh, wow, Stephen, nothing to be worried about. Linda, Celia, nothing to be worried about. A tiny bit of suspicion of Madeline, tiny bit of Amanda, and a little bit with Jake, Jesse, sitting on 0. And that is, so Anna sitting plus 0.2, Paloma 3.8 in the suspicion scale, and they murdered her, interestingly. Okay, let's see what happens here. So we've got 20 players left, so 6 players have gone. Let's see what happens here. Anna just in late, making eye on no one. Tom looking remarkably composed, almost too composed, so Nick's trying on purpose as if they'd already decided something. Probably not the best thing to be doing when you're coming into breakfast, just sauntering your way in. Fiona's in quietly scanning the room. Alex is bounds in, cheerful and bright, which irritates at least two people, so oops. And they see Paloma was murdered. And Faraz excuses herself for a moment, come back looking different. Madeline counts the chairs, saying their jaw's tight, so she's got suspicion on somebody. Tom's whispering sound in the breath, no one's catching it, do not repeat it. Fiona sits near the missing player quietly just once. Aaron breaks silence. Right then, who's going to say what we're all thinking? Trying to shift suspicion. Aaron, some people still think it's you. You're probably not the right person to say it, but that's just me. Jake makes a dark joke to cut the tension. Nobody's laughing. Someone almost does, so oh dear, that was probably not a good time to make a dark joke, Jake. Okay, Jake said something yesterday that Tom is still turning over. Not wrong, just how Tom would have played it. And what is it with these two? These two are confusing the hell out of me here at this point. Paul and Jake find themselves in a long wandering conversation in the castle library, the kind that ends with both of them laughing too loudly, so good relationship between Paul and Jake. They're going to bash they're going to vote each other at this next round table, surely, with this how incredibly bad the relationship is between the two of them. Celia had planned to spend the afternoon with Paul. They find them meant to laugh with Jake instead. So Celia in a bad took that so really badly with Paul now. Celia was on the up and up, and now it's just going crashing down. Celia looks like. Nikki has a heart more than on something they said breakfast line badly. They cheated the castle grounds alone, so Nikki upset. Tom finds Nikki with Madeline turning up later, so Nikki ending with a good relationship with Tom and Madeline. Jake gives a cool response to breakfast that confused everyone, especially Tom, and well, bad relationship with whoever it was, whoever the witness is. But these two are just, oh man, could they hate each other even more, even though they're both traitors? Jesse reads the full history of Aaron. Neither of them can explain what Faraz was doing. So Jesse and Aaron have got suspicion of Faraz. So Faraz is essentially coming into this as the most suspicious player by a country mile. So Faraz really needs to pull something out just to save himself here, and I don't know if it's going to happen. Madeline doesn't deflect a single question today, just answer, playing it directly, and taking suspicion off Madeline. So I think everyone's cool. I think everyone's already cool with Madeline as it is, so Madeline's pretty much on nobody's radar at this point. Wilfred, Leanne, Jesse, that's board game in the castle library. Nobody reads the rules. Wilfred wins something. Nobody's sure what it is. But Wilfred, Leanne, and Jesse have end up having a good relationship with each other regardless. And we got the murder shortlist. After the mission, the gift was handed out. Most players do thoroughly, 5 do not. So Wilfred, Linda, Leanne, Celia, and Jesse are on the murder shortlist. Only they can be killed tonight, so one of these 5 is going to be murdered. The question is, who? And if I had to pick one, I probably would pick Jessie, because I think she's probably the least suspicious player of the 5 of them as this game's gone on. Fiona finds Wilfred before the round table. Conversations calm. Subject is on Aaron. So Fiona and Wilfred has got suspicion on Aaron. So Aaron could be in trouble of being banished. Aaron watches Fiona, and now Aaron and Fiona have got a bad relationship with each other. So suspicion on Aaron and a bad relationship between the two of them. And Tom and Jake yet again another. What? I wonder what the number is here at this point. Like minus 20 or something ridiculously high. They just absolutely hate each other at this point. I'm probably going to say it so many times till at least one or both of them are gone. Nick lightens the tension with a well-timed comment that makes even the most wound-up players laugh. So everyone is on good terms. It took it really well. So Nick's in a good relationship with all the other players. Jesse's asking Aaron, do you think Faraz's vote has ever helped us catch a traitor? Aaron says no, so Jesse and Aaron got suspicions on Faraz. So Faraz, I think Faraz is still is going to end up going Faraz cannot share anything about Madeline and spend the afternoon trying to find evidence. So Faraz is trying to find something on Madeline to try and put a suspicion on her. And that is backfired, so there's even more suspicion of Faraz. Mate, I think you're gonna get banished, mate. I'm so sorry. And the chaos for the round table, Steven is the one who keeps things calm. People are noticing, so Steven got an even better relationship with other players. And the plan comes fast, and Jesse, Aaron spend time. So Aaron and Jesse have got a good relationship with the two of them, as their plans coming together to try and get Faraz voted out. Both here is rehearsing the round table speech, and the mayor gets caught doing it by 3 other players, so no tell us who. And yeah, nothing of consequence or effects taking place there. Madeline, Nikki, and Tom agree privately that Jazz is going to go tonight. So Madeline, Nikki, and Tom have come together and they're thinking on are planning on voting for Jazz. Now that's come out of nowhere because Jazz has not done anything, in my opinion, that would put suspicion on him. But for some reason, something about Jazz has got them wondering. Jazz is not there yet on. It's not there on Aaron, but they are listening to the vote's argument more carefully now. So Faraz and Jazz have a discussion, and there's more suspicion onto Aaron. I think it's going to be, in my head, it's going to be Faraz, Aaron, and Jake are things going to end up on here. Okay. Faraz 17, Aaron only 3. Faraz top suspect, and Aaron with a bad relationship. Faraz is spearheading on Aaron, which I'm not too surprised. This is probably going to be his last ditch effort to save himself at this point, because, well, he is really up a really enormously high creek, and he's got no paddle for it. Impatient with Faraz. I'm done being patient. The case is right there. So Jesse is absolutely going to go for it here. Knows names out there. Even names out there in every banishment, mate. I'm not going anywhere without a fight. Well, if match lasts this long, Matt, gotta do it one more time just to save yourself. Watch Aaron very carefully. Do not want to see tonight is the night to vote for him. As personal everyone can see, do not let anyone's agenda steal his track. Well, okay, Faraz, highest risk, never takes a stand, has never pushed for a vote or taken a clear position in the round table. And Aaron has never pushed for a vote or taken a clear position in the round table. So neither of them take a stand. So that probably explains why Aaron's in trouble. I mean, Aaron's gone from being an outcast to not being able to take a stand here. I'm going to say a name tonight. I need everyone to be ready. Ready? No? Too bad. Madeline, the little thing with Faraz this afternoon, tiny, barely anything. I'm talking about it anyway. I want to talk about voting patterns, specifically Faraz's, because when I go back through every round table, the picture I get is not what a faithful looks like. So Jesse already in there with Faraz, get a bit of suspicion on him, and the relationship between the two of them is not good. I'll answer any question you want, but I also really appreciate someone asking Aaron a few things I've been wondering about. So Faraz really try to shift it on to Aaron, because I think he definitely knows he's in trouble. I've been sitting there all week with this stuck in my head. Nice to know I'm not going mad, as Paul says putting more suspicion on Faraz, and Alex putting even more on Faraz. It's just, oh wow, so it's just piling on him. And honestly, I've been holding back from saying it even more direct than that. Jake is going for Aaron here, so putting suspicion onto Aaron. I don't know, Aaron has been giving me a weird feeling all week. Am I the only one? Because I can't be the only one. We're not talking about Aaron right now, we're talking about the name that was already in the table. So Amanda's saying that, says to put the suspicion back onto Faraz, so that could be bad news for Jake. For a moment, Faraz stopped trying to convince everyone and just look at Nick. I need you on this. So Faraz is asking a fellow traitor for help. That could put Nick in a bad position, that's all I'm going to say. I don't know how everyone's so certain. Faraz has been one of the most useful people here. I don't think anyone's going to agree with you in here. And not surprisingly, that has completely backfired, Alex, because what are you on about here, actually? Because Faraz is under so much heat. Game of the year third. I am somehow less certain now. I hate this game. Says Kasim. Okay, so somehow Kasim has been put into a position of doubt. I'm not going to pretend Stephen, and I don't have history, but we do. But this isn't about that. Stephen says nothing. The expression says plenty. So Jake and Stephen's relationship just tanked from that statement from Jake there. So I don't know what Jake is doing, but he's burning his bridge with Stephen for some reason. We're split between two names and neither side's moving. Someone needs to move. I'd rather happen here than on the card. Well, Nick, you say that, but I'm pretty sure it's the vote's going to be well and truly done for here. Can't make you trust me. I've tried. I just need to know whether you decide it wasn't me. Try to shift the suspicion, but I don't think it's going to be anywhere near enough. Mine's made up. Let's vote, says Alex. Faraz, that's been my answer. Nice. Jake is going for Faraz here. Talk, now vote. Everyone knows what they're doing. Okay. Amanda votes for Aaron. Jazz votes for Faraz. Tom is voting for Aaron. Paul is voting for Faraz. So 2 votes apiece. Madeline is voting for Aaron. Fozia is voting for Faraz. Nikki's voting for Aaron. Jesse's voting for Faraz, so 4 votes each. Fiona's voting for Aaron again. Linda voting for Faraz. Faraz is voting for Aaron. Nick is voted for Faraz, so traitor voting a traitor with 6 votes each. Aaron's voted for Faraz. Leanne's voted for Faraz. Cassine's voted for Faraz. Wilfred's voted for Faraz. 4 votes left. Jake has voted for Faraz, which means 3 votes remaining. Faraz has been banished no matter what. Well, at this point, Steve voted for Faraz, Celia voted for Faraz, and Alex voted for Faraz. So we have our first traitor being banished from this game by a vote of 14 to 6. And Faraz was a traitor. The faithful celebrate tonight. So we've got the murder list. Who's it going to be that's going to be murdered? So nobody's had anything, everything's fine, so we're getting rid of. Wants to go for Wilfred, interestingly. Alright, Wilfred, that's the same for me. We're done deciding. Can we talk about Aaron for 2 seconds? Because that vote wasn't random. They know something, or they think they do, either way. But I'm pretty certain it's going to be Wilfred's going to get murdered. And it is Wilfred that gets murdered. Oh man, this has been crazy to see so far. The most suspicious player is Fiona at 3, interesting. Amanda and Nikki's got quite a bit here on him, so does Aaron. Nick is saying pretty. Fozia is very comfortable. Paul comfortable. Tom got a bit of heat on him. Jazz is in a comfortable position. Jesse, a little bit of heat. Alex, Madeline, Jake, Leanne, Linda, Celia, Kasim, and Stephen, I say, are all sitting pretty. And yeah, what a crazy season this is turning out to be. So Wilfred's gone. Let's see what happens here. So 18 players are left, 3 traitors. Celia shuffling in, pouring a coffee, staring at the window for a long moment. Linda arrives and immediately starts making toast without asking if anyone else wants any. Okay, strange thing to do. Leanne comes in mid-conversation themselves. Jesse's entering quietly. Tom comes in clutching the mug like a shield. And that's when they find out that it was Wilfred that got murdered. Nikki sits very still and stares at the empty chair. Don't touch the breakfast. Stephen counts the chairs without saying anything. The jaw's time, so Stephen's got suspicion of somebody. Tom makes a dark joke. I don't know why you do that, mate, especially when you could be in danger next. Aaron breaks down for us. Right now, who's going to see what we're all thinking? You said that last episode, and you're shifting suspicion to somebody. Which I've had to guess is probably going to be Fiona. Cassine whispers something under his breath. Nobody catches it, and they don't repeat it. Leanne excuses herself for a moment and come back looking very different. Okay. And of course, they start on with Tom and Jake. My god, these two. Tom passes Jake a wordless glance at breakfast, and +1 relationship to the two of them, and they both got suspicion on Amanda, who's Amanda's somehow on the radar now. Nikki's pulling Steven aside to start talking about Celia. So pretty bad relationship from Nikki and Celia here, but a good relationship between Nikki and Steven. Wow, Steven, that's interesting. Here, gets back to Celia. Always gets back to Celia. Celia finds Nikki later and makes clear quite precisely know exactly what's said. So a really bad relationship between Nikki and Celia, and and now a bit of heat onto Nikki now. And further down, Madeline slips on the flagstones, chasing a crow that stole her toast. Whole cast witnesses it. Madeline, what are you doing? Paul struggling with homesickness. Madeline notices and gets a good bond between the two of them here, Madeline and Paul. So I guess having a crow steal your toast wasn't so bad after all. Tom asking Aaron, think about every round table. When has Amanda's vote actually helped the group? So Tom and Aaron. Well, Tom's trying to get Aaron to be suspicious on Amanda, so that's interesting that the shift is on to Amanda now. Tom, Nick and Paul get into a full argument about how to correctly pronounce scone. It's scone, not scoon. Scone, by the way, people. Good relationship with everybody here between Tom, Nick, and Paul. Interesting that one is Paul with Nick and not Jake. Wink, wink. Okay, the healer. So we've got the healer twist. So Kasim has been picked as the healer, and Kasim has chosen Linda and Jesse to be protected from murder, but nobody knows that. So Linda and Jesse is safe. I don't think Kasim is safe. Yeah, so be interesting what happens here with this healer twist. Linda finds Nick before the round table. Conversation is calm. The subject is on Amanda, so Linda and Nick are suspicious of Amanda. So Amanda has got quite a bit of heat on her. Can she get out of this one? I'm not sure. But Linda and Amanda got a bit of a bad relationship with each other because Amanda's watched Linda move through the group. So, suspicion of Amanda and a bad relationship between the two of them. So Amanda could go after Linda, probably. Who knows? Madeline openly questions Fozia's motives. Until Fozia tells them to mind their own business. Well, Fozia did not like that. So Madeline's asked Fozia a question. Fozia didn't like it. Has tanked the relationship between the two of them, and now they've got suspicions on each other. Yikes. Leanne starts a quiet poll of the group. What do people actually know about Jake? So Leanne is putting some heat onto Jake. Now, Jake and Tom have always been in bad terms with each other. This could be the round table that Tom gets his wish and gets rid of Jake. That's all I'm going to say here. Tom makes the argument plainly. The votes are the case. Everything else is interpretation. The votes are fact. Aaron agrees with Tom on this one, putting more suspicion onto Amanda. Fozia pulls Nick aside. So Fozia grabs Nick and is asking him to vote telling that Amanda is the vote tonight. More suspicion of Amanda and a good relationship between Nick and Fozia, which is going to help Nick out quite considerably. Probably ways inevitably the only traitor left in the game. Tom did not have to push hard. Aaron was already thinking the same thing about Amanda, so good relationship between Tom and Aaron here. Amanda and Tom have a bitter exchange in the Great Hall, and -4 relationship. Oh my god. Whatever it was that said to the two of them is clearly something that's got really really bad terms with each other, and suspicions now raised on both players. Fiona's asking Amanda to name one person who fully defends Aaron, and Amanda is still thinking about it, so it's a bit of suspicion onto Aaron here. So Fiona, I don't know what what it is with Fiona and Aaron, but Fiona has got more suspicion on Aaron, and he's got pulled Amanda on the side to raise it. So I'm gonna say The player most in danger is Amanda, then it's Jake, then Aaron. Jake is not on here at all. Oh, it could be a close vote as well. 9 votes on Amanda, 6 votes on Aaron. Bad relationship with Amanda, and Aaron is too dangerous here. Tom spearheading Amanda, Fiona spearheading Aaron again. People will say it's personal, it's not. I just happen to have seen Amanda up close and voted to protect someone who was later revealed as a traitor. This is personal, everyone can see it. Do not let someone else take you off track. I said from the beginning that Aaron was dangerous. I am not changing that view now. I know my name's out there, but I'm not going with a fight. You really gotta have to admit, because this could be tight between you and Amanda. Ironically, weren't they like the best of the friends in the first season? Yeah, because Aaron actually cried. Amanda was there to console him. So this is kind of a bitter irony here in my head. So, so Amanda in danger. Protect the traitor. Vote protect someone who was later revealed as a traitor. And Aaron, Keith has been voted against repeatedly and is managing to not get banished. And I think Aaron needs to try and do it again. Try to escape being voted out. There we go. See, I feel like there's someone in the room who already knows what I'm about to say. That's fine. Say it with me. Tom, I want to go back to when Faraz was voted out, because Amanda was not on the right side of that vote. Plenty of players weren't made, it wasn't just her. And I've been thinking about what it means ever since. Tonight I am naming it. So putting a bit suspicion on Amanda and a bad relationship between the two of them. You want to talk suspicious? Fine, but before anyone writes down my card, look at Aaron. I mean, actually look at him. So Amanda going for it on Aaron, I think because she knows it's going to be her or Aaron. Amanda, look who is pushing the hardest for my name, and ask yourself what they gain if I go home tonight. Amanda fighting this hard makes someone wonder if there's more to fight for. So that's backfired on Amanda. That puts some more suspicion on her. So Amanda tries so hard, it ends up being over the top and is backfired. So Jake says, look at the patterns of what Amanda has voted for and who they protected. There's logic to it. I don't love what that logic implies. So Jake is putting more suspicion on Amanda, ironically because he's a traitor. Amanda isn't. But he's trying to get people to think it's her. Well, then, so I didn't want to pile it on, but yes, it's Amanda. So let us put even more onto her. Funnily enough. Gee, I don't know. Aaron has been giving me a weird feeling all week. Am I the only one? Because I can't be the only one. So Jake put suspicion onto Aaron. So Jake's put suspicion on both players, interestingly enough. So wonder what that's about. We're not aligned tonight, that's fine. Some of you know exactly why I'm voting Aaron. So, yeah, because you still are charging full force at him. Before anyone locks in, I'm not saying the suspicion isn't real. I just think we should hear Amanda out properly. So Celia coming into Amanda's defense puts a good relationship with the two of them, and it's actually taking quite a bit of heat off Amanda. What if the whole conversation decided what someone wanted us to have? What if we're being played right tonight? Jazz is now on ease. Amanda and Stephen lock eyes across the table. Whatever is between them doesn't need to be said out loud. So, Amanda and Steve, whatever their eyes saying to each other, it's really a bad omen between the two of them. There's another name, Tom. So Fozia is bringing Tom up now, bringing an actual traitor in. I haven't said it because the room wasn't ready. I'm saying it now. Not to bring up Faraz, but I'm bringing up Faraz. We thought we were sure then too. Faraz was a traitor, Madeline. What are you on about? And what Madeline says, I think I know where everyone's head is tonight, and I think if we're honest, the room's already made its choice. Fine, make the mistake, but when you find out I was right, I need you to remember this exact moment, so try to shift more suspicion. Madeline's last-ditch effort to save herself. Sign field, mind made up. Kasim's glancing at Aaron, looking away, picks up the card, so I think Kasim is voting for Aaron. Whatever happens, they'll know we tried. That's gotta count for something, says the traitor, Tom. Okay, here we go. Fiona voting for Aaron. Fozia's voted for Nikki. Fozia voted for Nikki. Why Nikki? She wasn't even brought up at the round table or at all this episode. What happened? Alex voted for Amanda. So one for Aaron, one for Amanda, one for Nikki. Amanda voted for Aaron. Celia voted for Nikki. What's going on? Madeline voted for Amanda, so 2 votes for Aaron, 2 votes for Amanda, 2 votes for Nikki. Nick voted for Aaron. Jesse voted for Nikki. Tom voted for Amanda, so 3 votes each. Kasim voted for Aaron. Nikki voted for Amanda. Leanne voted for Aaron. Linda voted for Amanda, so it's 5 votes each. 5 votes Aaron, 5 votes Amanda, 3 votes Nikki. Jazz voted for Aaron. Aaron voted for Amanda, so it's 6 votes Aaron, 6 votes Amanda, 3 votes left. Paul voted for Amanda. Stephen voted for Amanda. And Jake voted for Amanda. So 9 votes for Amanda, 6 votes for Aaron, 3 votes for Nikki. Why did 3 people vote for Nikki? That's come out of absolutely nowhere. But whatever the reason is, they voted for her for whatever reason. So Amanda has been banished with 9 votes to 6 to 3. So Amanda was a faithful. And coming back to the turret, Tom leaves back, feels nobody heard anything, it's fine, getting rid of. Jake wants to get rid of Leanne. This is funny because Jake and Leanne won their season together. Jake wants Leanne murdered. And Tom is going with it, so they're going to try and murder Leanne? And Leanne has been murdered. Wow, okay, so I'm surprised. I did not think she'd be the target, but Leanne's gone. The most suspicious player is Tom. Then it's Nikki. I don't know. I don't understand what happened that caused Nikki to be voted for, let alone being suspicious. But for whatever reason, Nikki has got under a bit of suspicion now. Jake, quite a bit of suspicion on him. Aaron's got quite a bit of suspicion on him. So Paul, Linda, Steve got a bit of suspicion. Fiona, sitting pretty at this point. Alex and Nick got a little bit of heat on them. Jesse and Jazz in a good spot. Focia, Celia, Madeline, tiny bit of suspicion on them. Cassine, pretty much on a level playing field. Well, pretty much sitting pretty, I would say. Okay, 3 traitors, 13 faithfuls. Okay, here we go. Nick shuffles in. Focia enters looking like they barely slept. Jazz looking remarkably composed, too composed. Probably getting too comfortable here, mate. Fiona comes in clutching the mug like a shield. Steven enters quietly. Alex wanders in, still half asleep. Celia comes in mid-conversation with herself. And that's when they've realised it is Leanne that's got murdered. Nikki looking at the traitors without knowing they're looking at the traitors. Fiona pushes their food around the plate without eating any of it. Nick is breaking the silence, so trying to shift suspicion onto somebody. The only question is, who is that person? Kasim sits very still and stares at the empty chair. Don't touch the breakfast. Focia is looking around the table, reading every face, so she's got suspicion on somebody. Probably going to be Aaron if I had to guess, or Nikki for some reason. Aaron gripping the mug tighter and doesn't let go. Okay. And these two still don't understand these two. Catching eyes across the table, no words needed, with a good relationship between the two of them, whatever it was they said or whatever happened. Jazz had a hard morning they're laying on, so trying to hide that he is a tough spot. Alex finds Jazz outside, stays with them. Nikki joins them, and a bit of a good relationship forming between the 3 of them. And the 3 of them discover a trapdoor in the library. It's just the one there, but the laugh brings them together. So the little things bring Alex, Celia, and Tom a bit of joy with each other. Fiona tells Tom that the accumulation of what makes it specific, not a big thing, everything's small together. So Fiona and Tom, so Fiona goes over to Tom, saying that trying to add more suspicion to Aaron. That Fiona is really hammering on trying to get rid of Aaron. Nikki and Fiona explore a wing in the castle, and that's usually off limits. What they find there unnerves them both, and that has put suspicion onto Fiona. Explore right. usually off limits. Will they find they're unnerved them both? Okay, I'm not really sure why that would put suspicion on Fiona, but for some reason it has put suspicion on her. Tom finds Kasim journaling in the garden and respects the quiet later. Kasim thanks him for it, so Tom sees Kasim writing in the garden, gives him a bit of the peace and quiet, and a good relationship forms between Tom and Kasim. Celia unites Kasim and Tom. Unites Kasim and Tom, who have been circling each other. Suddenly there is a coalition between Kasim, Tom, and Celia, so maybe they're banding together to figure out what they're going to do, who might be a traitor, who they're going to go for next. And Nikki and Aaron have got a shield, so both of them are protected from murder, so the two players seem to have the most suspicion on them are protected from murder. I've not checked the prize pool at all. The prize pool is $135,000 as things stands. And before the round table, so Fiona finds Jazz for the round table. The conversation is calm, and they are talking about Nikki. And Jazz agrees with Fiona that there's something about Nikki that makes him think she might be a traitor. Nikki's catching on, and the relationship has gone badly for the two of them. Madeline and Fothia don't trust you, and I haven't for a while. And Madeline just straight up says that to Fothia. That puts suspicion on pair of them, and the relationship between Madeline and Fothia is so bad. Oh god. Madeline says she has a conversation but keep getting strapped by Bat in the rafters. What? So, don't trust you, haven't trust for a while, and then they... Okay, alright, so that's happened. I don't understand what happened here, but that's apparently a thing. Fiona and Tom do not need to go over the whole case again. It's been made. The argument is the accumulation. So Fiona and Tom really try and put more heat onto Aaron, so they're hell-bent on getting him banished to his banishment. Fiona's been trying to get Aaron banished for a while. I think so. Will it be her night to finally get rid of him? I don't know. Tom artfully redirects the conversation and puts a lot of suspicion onto Jazz of all people. By the time that's done, Jazz is one everyone is discussing. Okay, so Tom manages to say something artistically to really get the conversation on about him. But again, Jazz has not really been there for this All-Star season, so I guess maybe that's what the discussion's about. Celia finds Fiona pacing nervously and talks them down. A moment of genuine connection between Fiona and Celia, so good connection there between the two of them. Fiona did not have to push hard. Tom was already thinking the same thing as Aaron, so good relationship with the two of them, and they're really still hell-bent on getting Aaron banished. Paul and Kasim clashes with each other. Madeline's trying to break it up, but it's ended up with a really bad relationship between all three players. Paul, Kasim, Madeline, minus two relationship between all of them with each other, so that's a big yikes there for Paul and Kasim and Madeline, really. Stephen giving his reasons to Nick about why he thinks Fothia is a traitor. So good relationship between Stephen and Nick, and quite a bit of suspicion onto Fothia. Madeline is making his choice. They make it fast. Aaron listens without saying a word. So quite a bit of suspicion onto Fiona, and a good relationship between Madeline and Aaron. So Madeline thinks Fiona's a traitor. Aaron agrees with it, which I guess makes sense because Fiona has been so hell-bent getting him voted out. Paul and Linda both reach for the last biscuit at the same time and spends 2 minutes insisting the other one takes it, and nobody takes it, so bit of a interesting body movement between Paul and Linda. Aaron lays on a voting pattern for Madeline, so Aaron and Madeline are going for Tom, even though they've got suspicion on Fiona. Now they've got suspicion on Tom, so they could be going at... So what are they going to do? Are they going for Fiona or Tom? Okay, round table. I'm going to say the one in biggest trouble is Aaron, and I think it's going to be Jazz. That's going to be also in a bit of trouble. And I think an outside chance of getting into a bit of heat is going to be Fiona. Let's see. Nope. Aaron is in a heap of trouble, and Tom's in a bit of trouble as well. Aaron, spearheaded by Fiona as usual, is the top suspect, and Tom, who's an actual traitor, spearheaded by Aaron, being dangerous. Aaron has been on my radar since the start. You don't say, Fiona. The fact they've been voted against repeatedly and keeps escaping just because or new. It doesn't really explain anything. He's just got lucky. Just kept being like the second highest highest voted in these banishments and just survives. But I guess if Wish is finally going to come true, you're finally going to get rid of him, it looks like. If I go tonight, it's the worst decision the group's made. The real traitors will be celebrating. Most definitely. Especially when they've got a fellow traitor in trouble. The question is not whether Tom's a threat, it is whether we do something about it before it's too late. They are coming for me, and I genuinely do not understand why this is a mistake. Well, if it was Jake, I would understand, but coming from Aaron, I'm a bit unsure why. Though they did have that little conversation with Madeline towards the end. Aaron keeps escaping, has been voted against repeatedly and keeps avoiding banishment. And Tom protected the traitor, voted to protect someone who was revealed as a traitor. Oh, here we go. This could get really interesting. I've been sitting on this all day and I can't anymore. I'm sorry, but I can't. Someone at this table is looking us in the eye and lying, as you do on the traitors. Finally, someone's being honest. Let's actually do something with it. So Aaron sees it coming. Aaron sees it coming and just sighs because he knows of all players, it's going to be Fiona that's going to be going after him. You know what I'm about to say, Aaron? Yep. Good, say it for me then. Suspicion on Aaron. I want to be clear about this one thing. I am not saying I have one definitive proof evidence. I am saying the accumulation of what this group has seen collectively is too consistent to dismiss Aaron. So put it here on Aaron, put even more heat on Aaron, and the relationship between the two of them has gone really badly, which is not surprising being how inconsistent Fiona is on voting Aaron. Okay, what is Linda jumps in. Aaron, darling, walk me through today, all of it slowly. I want the full story, so let's put even more suspicion onto Aaron. Well, let's read. Since you're asking, Tom has been for a while, just haven't said it out loud enough, and shifting the suspicion onto Tom. Though, Aaron, why didn't you do this sooner? I would like to formally object. I feel like that should be on the record. Finding this hard makes everyone, well, I know you're fighting for your life here, Aaron, and you're in the serious match, but that's backfired, and now I think that might have just sealed it for Aaron, but anything can happen. We've had crazy votes in this All-Star season. Okay, well, Alex, thank you. I've been waiting for someone to say Aaron has been running a game on all of us, so Alex is piled on Aaron. And Posey is piling on, oh god, so 4 people are piling on Aaron to get voted out. Honestly, I've been holding back on saying, Nick, what is next thing? Before we lock in, is anyone else bothered by how relaxed Tom looks right now? Because I am. And once again, a fellow traitor going after a fellow traitor, trying to put suspicion onto Tom. For God's sake. Sorry, but who is the one pushing the hardest for Aaron? Because that person should be the one answering questions right now. So reducing the suspicion on Aaron. So Jake's taking the suspicion away from Aaron and getting a good relationship between them. So does that mean Jake is putting the heat onto Fiona now? So is Fiona going to end up getting a few votes on her? The tension between Tom and Jake surfaces briefly. Oh, God's sake, these two, I don't get it with them still. And the relationship has tanked again. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down. Like, I just don't understand these two at all. If I make a mistake, but when you find out it's right, I need you to remember this exact moment. Try his last-ditch effort to try and save himself, but I think it's going to be Aaron. I doubt it's. I don't think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be a one-sided affair. Hello. You alright? Yeah, good. Okay, let's get to this vote. So, we start with a traitor voting for Traitor, Nick voting for Tom, Fiona votes for Aaron, unsurprisingly, Paul voting for Tom, Alex votes for Aaron, so that's 2 votes each. Celia's voted for Tom. Jake has voted for Aaron. Madeline's voted for Tom. Cassine's voted for Aaron. Linda's voted for Tom. Fothia votes for Aaron, so that's 5 votes Aaron, 5 votes Tom. Aaron votes for Tom. Jesse votes for Aaron. Jazz has voted for Tom. Okay, this vote's a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. Tom's voted for Aaron, so there's 2 votes left. Nikki's voted for Tom. And Steven voted for Tom. Oh my god, I did not think I was going to go this way. I thought Aaron was going to be dead and buried, but nope, Tom has somehow been banished and Aaron survived, so they've got another traitor, people. 9 votes to 7, my goodness. So those in cast, Tom has been revealed to be a traitor, so Jake, not surprised, will be delighted they finally got rid of Tom because the two of them would not stop butting heads with each other this entire All-Star season. So that leaves Jake and Nick as the only 2 traitors left. So they could recruit if they wanted, but we'll see what they do. Right, that went fine. Who are we killing? So Jake wants to go for Kasim. Hard to disagree. So going to be Kasim or Paul? Paul is sitting there looking cute and reading every single person in the room. I'm not letting that slide. So we're not pouting. Kasim is the target. If we got Darius counted tomorrow, if they ask where they were, we same bed, so don't complicate. Probably because it's the thing in this game is said, but it's based on traitors. So it looks like it's going to be Kasim that's going to get murdered. And yes, it is Kasim that gets murdered. Okay, so who's the most suspicious player? Fothia is the most suspicious player by quite a lot of suspicion. Now Aaron, God forbid, one of the most suspicious players to being chill as all hell. Wow. So I think the heat is finally off Aaron for now. Fiona's got a lot of suspicion on her, not surprisingly, because she's been targeting Aaron constantly. So I wonder what she's going to do now. Jesse's got a lot of heat on her now. Jake's got quite a bit of heat. Jazz and Alex got quite a bit of heat. Madeline, Paul, Linda, Steven, Nick, Nikki and Celia are pretty much in a very good spot when it comes to being who's the most suspicious player. Okay, so on to the next episode. So we've got 14 players left on episode 7. 2 traitors and 12 faithfuls. Steven heads in the doorway. Linda is wandering in, still half asleep. Madeline is quietly. Paul slipping in quietly. Fiona shuffling in. Nick is bouncing, cheerful and bright. I don't think that's the right attitude to have. Jake's first down, helping themselves to tea before anyone else arrives. And they see that it is Kasim that got murdered. Jazz makes a dark joke to cut attention. Nobody laughs, so good stuff there, Jazz. Aaron looks almost too calm about it, barely flicker. That is not lost in the tail, so I think there's a bit of suspicion put onto himself there. Nick counts the chase without saying anything. The jaws tighten, and that's put a bit of suspicion here. Celia has to excuse herself a moment. When they come back, they look very different. She looks very different. Oh, 2 traitors left, and got a bit of a good bond with each other, so good relationship between Jake and Nick. And I guess with Tom out of the way, they don't have to worry about him so much anymore. Alex and Aaron find themselves in a long, wandering conversation in the castle library. That kind of ends with both of them laughing too loudly, so good bond there between Alex and Aaron. And we got some more drama. Nick has planned to spend the afternoon with Alex. They find them mid-laugh with Aaron instead, so that's put a dampener things between Nick and Alex. Celia suggests morning walks through the grounds. Nick and Fiona join in, so that's going a good relationship between Celia, Nick, and Fiona. And Stevenson notes to Linda that Jake has never once led a charge, and so because of that, that's put suspicion onto Jake. Has ridden every consensus without creating one. So Jake has put some input in the banishment in the round tables, but not really spearhead going after anyone though. So I guess kind of too much of a what if person, or just riding the wave. I don't know. But regardless, let's put suspicion onto Jake now. Fothia suggests a morning walk through the grounds. Stephen and Linda join without hesitation, so a good relationship between Fothia, Stephen and Linda. And Alex has been hogging the bathroom for 40 minutes. A small queue is formed outside. No one says anything directly to them. Okay, Alex, what are you doing in there? I don't know why we need to know that. Fothia and Jake finds a chest in the library. The game goes on for most of the morning, and that's put a good relationship between Fothia and Jake. Aaron and Jessica over the castle have a telescope in the room. They spend the morning looking at absolutely nothing through it, but feels very sophisticated. Okay, a bizarre way to pass the time, but you do you guys. And the mission failed. No shields here, so everyone is at risk of murder. Build the mission. Prize pot is $135,000 still. For the round table. Stephen finds Linda before the round table. The conversation is calm. The subject is Jake. So Stephen and Linda have got a bit of suspicion on Jake, thinking he's a traitor. Which is ironic for Linda because it was the exact opposite in their season, but you know, just putting it out there. Jake watches Stephen move through the group, so that's a bad relationship between the two of them, between Jake and Stephen. Stephen gives himself a long pep talk in the bathroom mirror. Someone knocks and asks if they're alright. Stephen says they're humming. Probably not, probably plotting, knowing him, if I had to guess. Linda works the room ahead of the round table, making sure their vote is covered before sitting down. Okay, I don't know what the point of that was, Linda, but hey ho, I guess if you mean making sure Jake is banished. Stephen makes the case that editorializing just the votes. Linda listens. By the end of it, there's no defense Linda wants to make, so more suspicions onto Jake here. Nikki, suspicion, asks Fothia to explain her alibi. Nikki says loudly. The room shifts uncomfortably. The room turns like Nikki. Sound reads as agenda, not evidence. So that's backfire and put suspicion onto Nikki herself, trying to put Fothia in a bad position. Linda tells Stephen they are already there. Jake has been their answer since yesterday, so that's given a good relationship to Stephen and Linda, because the two of them are definitely certain that Jake is a traitor, and they are right, but we'll see if they will go for it. Madeline names Linda in front of the group, not as a traitor accusation, but someone they no longer trust at all. Madeline is going to Linda saying, I don't trust you anymore, and that has put suspicion on both of them, and the relationship is completely bad, completely hideous between the two of them, so I think Madeline and Linda absolutely hate each other here after that. Jake hears her name, not from Stephen but from Aaron. The look on Jake's face afterwards tells the whole story, so good relationship between Jake and Aaron because Aaron told Jake, but that puts suspicion onto Stephen, so Jake maybe wanted to try and get him banished for that. Linda, Nick clash publicly while Stephen tries to calm the three of them down. It doesn't work, and that's put a bad relationship between all three of them, so Linda, Nick and Stephen. Jazz and Aaron know that Fiona has never put their neck on the line at the round table, and because of that, Aaron agrees, and now the suspicion's onto Fiona. Ironically, I'll be surprised if she doesn't go after Aaron, because I'm pretty much too used to her going after Aaron, because she thinks he's a traitor. Jessie pays attention to dinner. When asked what's wrong, Jessie says nothing, but there's something wrong here. Jess doesn't want to show it. Madeline is in the voting panel for Alex. Alex is close to being convinced that Fothia is a traitor, so the suspicion is on Fothia. So we're on to the round table. If I had to guess, the most suspicious player is going to be Jake, then Fiona, then Fothia. That's my guess. Oh, yeah. Jake, Fiona, and Fothia. Oh, so this is going to be a really tight vote here between the three of them. Okay, Jake spearheaded by Stephen, Fiona spearheaded by Jazz, and Fothia spearheaded by Madeline. I'm surprised Aaron's not the one spearheading Fiona for the constant amount of times that she's been going after him. Okay. I thought at the beginning that Jake was dangerous. I'm not changing that view now. They're coming for me, and I genuinely do not understand why this is a mistake. It was always coming, Jake, let's be honest. Jazz, yes, Fiona have history, that doesn't make me wrong, it makes me the one paying the most attention. They've had a problem with me since day one. I don't think that's true. It's not evidence it's a grudge. People will say this is personal, it's not. I just happen to have seen Votia up close and voted to protect someone who was later to the traitor. Madeline, you went up to Votia and you went, I don't trust you, and you're now spearheading her. They've had a problem with me since day one, that's not evidence it's a grudge as well. And let's see, protect the traitor, protect the traitor, protect the traitor. Oh, okay. Too dangerous, bad relationship. So all three of them voted for her instead of Tom. So that's clearly come back to bite all three of them here. Let's see what happens here. This could get really messy. Nicholas, interesting group tonight. Everyone's got a face on. A pause, shall we? Well, wait to open it. Fine, someone's been honest. Let's actually do something with it. Jake. God, Steve going, babe, Jake, sweetheart. Oh, that's just awkward. I said with love, you are a traitor. The certainty is alarming even to me, especially on Jake and a bad relationship between the two of them. I think the relationship was already bad as it is. You want to talk suspicious, fine, but before anyone writes my name on the card, look at Fiona. I mean, actually look at her. Okay, so Jake is going after, trying to put suspicion onto Fiona. Look who is pushing the hardest for my name and ask yourself what they gain if I go home tonight. So Jake playing that card and it's worked, so let's put taking the suspicion away from him. With how close it's vote tonight, he could actually save himself here. I think he might actually do that. I'm not making this a emotional case here, I'm making a voting record here. The record is the evidence, so Nick is actually going after Jake, interestingly. So put suspicions onto Jake, and then Nick jumps to saying the case for the name and on the table isn't wrong, but nobody's making a case for Fiona, and I find that very interesting. So he's trying to put suspicion onto both Jake and Fiona here. I hear you on Fiona, I do, says Linda, I do, but can we finish the first conversation before we move on to our second one? And Jazz going saying, no, my vote is Fiona, I am not moving. So Jazz is refusing to budge on this one. And then Marilyn's saying, can we get Fotia's name on the table because I'm not going to pretend it isn't in my head because you've publicly said out loud you don't trust her right in front of her face. So I guess that's not surprising you do that. I don't know how everyone's concerned. Jake has been the one of the useful people here. Really? Jesse, I don't agree with you on this one. You're throwing away that vibe, and that's backfired. I'm not surprised if you look because if anything, that's put the best special on Jesse, and it's really not helped Jake out at all. I've been sitting on this for hours, and I still don't have a clean answer. That bothers me more than I'm laying on. So Fiona is not actually sure who she's voting for. Madeline, something I say. So we'll see this asking Madeline for input, and Madeline's just going, not to you, Celia. Oh my word, so Madeline's gone full combative on Celia for some reason, and I don't understand why. That's come out of nowhere. We sent Faraz home. Look where we are now. I need us to get this right for once. So bring up Faraz. Faraz has been gone ages ago. The vote told a different story than the conversation did. I find that interesting. I think I know where everyone's heads tonight. I haven't got a clue, honestly. I'm actually lost on where this is going to go. I'm just gonna say Jake because I have no idea at this point. Fine, make a mistake when you find us right. Need to know. Let's vote. I'm ready. Let's vote. I'm ready. See the votes armed. That's their vote. That's been their vote. Alright, we're doing this together. Whatever happens next, we did this together. Cards out. I'm gonna say Jake's gonna go. But this could be anyone as far as I'm concerned. Jake votes for Fotia. Fotia votes for Jake. Celia votes for Fiona. Madeline votes for Fotia. Jesse votes for Jake. Jazz votes for Fiona, so 2 votes Jake, 2 votes Fotia, 2 votes Fiona. Fiona votes for Fotia. Paul votes for Jake. Nick votes for Fiona, so 3 votes each. Nikki votes for Fotia. Stephen votes for Jake. Aaron votes for Fiona, so 4 votes Jake, 4 votes Fotia, 4 votes Fiona, sorry. with 2 votes left. Alex votes for Fothia. And Linda votes for Fiona. So it's a tie between Fothia and Fiona. So Jake somehow has got out of this one. So what happens here? And Fiona is the one that has been banished. Currently decided randomly. Better tiebreaker options will be explored in the future. Okay, so the game doesn't actually have a tiebreak feature, so it's pretty much toss of the coin, and Fiona has been the unlucky one. I'm surprised Jake got away with that one, because I really thought it was going to be him that was going to go, but that was quite a tight vote regardless. Okay. The jailer's cell. Nobody knows you're here. It's just us, and I need to know the truth before summers. Okay, so the jailer twist. So Linda got picked as the jailer. She's trapped Madeline. So Linda's got a choice. Is she going to spare Madeline, or is she going to murder Madeline? So yes, Linda is a faithful, and with this twist, Linda can actually get rid of Madeline here. I know about voting to keep the traitor. That's been sitting with me. What do you have to say about it? That isn't what it looked like. I can explain it, but I need you to actually listen, not just decide. Okay, so you're right. Who would you put in the cell if it wasn't you? I have suspicions. Everyone does, but I'm not going to trade my name for a life. That's not who I am. Every time I think I've made up my mind, you say something that makes me second guess it. I want to believe you really do, but I can't let you walk out of here, not tonight. So, and that is Madeline has been executed by Linda. So the traitors didn't kill Madeline. It was Linda that killed Madeline. The most suspicious player is ironically Linda. Jazz has got a lot of suspicion on him. So there's Jake, Fothia, and Nick. Jesse in good terms. Celia got a bit of suspicion. Alex is in a good spot. Steven's got a bit of suspicion. Tight suspicion on Paul. Tiny on Aaron, and EDB a little bit on Nikki. So Madeline is executed and Fiona is banished. So 12 players remain, 2 traitors. Celia wanders in, still half asleep. Linda bounds in, cheerful and bright. Jesse shuffles in. Nick dressing late. Jake arrives looking composed, too composed. Probably not the best position for it. And Madeline, of course, was executed, so Madeline is out. Celia pushes the food around the plates. Jake breaks silence saying, right then, who's going to say we're all thinking? Trying to show suspicion. Paul counts the chair without saying anything. Jaw's tight, so that's a bit of suspicion on him. Jake looks almost too calm about it, and that's put suspicion on him, being too composed here. Steven sitting very still and stares at the empty chair. Nikki looks around the table, trying to read every face, put a bit of suspicion. So nothing from Linda, interestingly, because she was the one that killed Madeline. Jake and Nick exchange a barely perceivable nod at breakfast. The game within the game continues. Linda and Jesse find themselves in a long, wandering conversation in the castle library, the kind that ends with both of them laughing too loudly. So a good relationship between Linda and Jesse. Aaron has planned to spend the afternoon with Linda, but finds Linda with Jesse instead. So that's per sour taste in the relationship between Aaron and Linda. Nikki makes a pot of tea for the group. Jazz quite throws it down the sink and makes a new one. Nikki notices, no one says anything, so Jazz pours down the sink, and that makes a good relationship between Nikki and Jazz. That's a strange one, but hey ho. Nikki mentions Tom's name quietly. Aaron goes still. Then I know I was thinking about that too. So Nikki and Aaron are together. They think Fothia could be a traitor. Of course, Fothia survived a tiebreaker between her and Fiona. Alex falls asleep in the castle armchair in a conversation. Wakes up 15 minutes later, insisting they were just resting their eyes. Yeah, the classic I wasn't sleeping, I was just resting my eyes argument. So Linda, you were the jailer, and now you have won a shield, so you cannot be murdered. Congratulations to Linda. So, Alex finds Jake for the round table. The conversation is calm. The subject is Nick. So Alex and Jake are planning on voting for Nick, it looks like. So that's interesting. But then again, Jake is in a bit of heat, so I guess getting rid of Nick might help him out, maybe, but I don't know about if it would do much for his game. Nick watches Alex move for the group. They're not sure what's been said. They have a pretty good idea, and the relationship between Alex and Nick is soured because of that. And we got drama between Alex and Nikki. Tensions reach a boiling point between the two of them. Alex and Nikki, as the round table approaches, that's put suspicion on Nikki, and a really terrible relationship between the two of them. And Celia challenges Nikki to explain themselves before the round table, and that's put suspicions on both of them, and completely soured the relationship. So Nikki has got a soured relationship with Alex, and now a soured relationship with Celia. I think Nikki is in trouble now because of that, and I'm now going to thinking it might be Jake that's in trouble, but I'm now not so sure. Nikki makes the argument plainly, the votes are the case, everything else is interpretation. Aaron agrees with this, so Aaron and Nikki are suspicious on Fothia. Jazz asks a question at dinner that makes the whole table pause. Nobody has an answer. I would like to know what that question was, that would help. Plan comes together faster than Nikki expected, so that's put a good relationship between Nikki and Aaron, though I think Nikki is in a spot of bother on it, to be honest. Nikki names Celia in front of the group, not the traitor accusation, but someone they no longer trust at all. Oh my god, Nikki. Well, if the relationship wasn't terrible enough, and the suspicion on both of them, or the lot of suspicion on both of them now, and a really bad relationship between Nikki and Celia. Oh, for the love of God, man. Stephen asks Paul to count how many times Jake has been on the right side of the vote. Paul is counting, and I haven't kept track of it, so I'm not actually sure either, but either way, let's put suspicion on Jake. Okay, if I had to take a guess, I think Jake's in trouble, and I think Nikki is in trouble. So I think it's going to be Jake or Nikki, honestly. Jake has got quite a bit of heat on him, Nikki for burning his bridge. A couple of bridges, especially with Celia. Okay, I'm wrong. It's a tight vote. 5 votes for Fothia and 4 for Jake. So Nikki is spearheading Fothia. I'm surprised it's not Celia, honestly. Too dangerous. Steven spearheading Jake is top suspect. Except for the beginning of Fothia is dangerous. I am not changing that view now. They are coming for me. I don't understand why. It's a mistake. I've been patient with Jake. I am done being patient. The case is right there. So you're on the ball, Steven, for sure. If I go tonight, it's the worst decision this group has made. The real traitors will be celebrating. Yeah, Nick will be celebrating. And protected traitor, protected a traitor. This is going to be very, very tight between these two. I'm start clearly with tracking because I've got receipts. I asked Fothia something today. The answer is why I'm sitting exactly where I'm sitting tonight. Look, I tried to tell myself out of this name because I knew it would look. I could not Fothia. So put suspicion onto Fothia. Nikki is certain it's Fothia. My case with Fothia tonight is the record, not my feelings, the record, and I'm asking everyone in this room to look at it with me before they vote. And that's apparently come across as pushing it too hard on her, and that's backfired on Nikki, so I still think this is going to be interesting because I thought Nikki was going to get some votes, but the prediction's saying it's not, she won't, but you never know. Fothia, I want a direct answer, says Paul. Well, Paul's asking Fothia for a direct answer. Not what he wants to hear. Why have you never put yourself in the line of fire to really put suspicion on her? My honest read, since you're asking, Jake has been for a while. I just haven't said it out loud. So Fothia's putting this trying to shift the suspicion to Jake, which makes sense because well, Jake is right behind her in the fourth. I think it's like 5-4. I've been sitting here all week with it stuck in my head. Nice to know I'm not going mad, and that enthusiasm is too bizarre to appeal. So let's put suspicion onto Alex, trying to I guess go in the bandwagon with Fothia that Jake is a traitor and not Fothia. Let's do thing. I'm not making an emotional case here. I'm making a voting record here. My record is the evidence. And he thinks that will be put suspicion on Fothia, but will that be enough to save him? It's hard to tell. And Jake's saying, I don't know. Linda has been giving me a weird feeling all week. Am I the only one? Because I can't be the only one. So Jake's putting suspicion on Fothia. Now he's trying to put the suspicion onto Linda, interestingly. lot of you already do, but I think you're wrong tonight, and Jake is the name. So Stephen is certain it's Jake, and he is right. Can I just please? Fozia has been nothing but honest in this room. I've watched. That's got nothing. And Stephen, not only is he saying Jake is a traitor, he is actually coming to Fozia's defense, and that's put a good relationship to the two of them. And that's taken a whole heap of suspicion off of Fozia. That might have actually saved her, but you'd never know. What does Celia say? Nikki, something like to say? And now Nikki's going not to Celia. Oh god, Nikki and Celia are really on really bad terms with each other, and it's kind of comical. Not to bring up Fiona, but I'm bringing up Fiona. We thought we were sure about then too. Yeah, and it ended up being a tiebreaker between her and Fozia. Fiona got banished and she was a faithful. Fozia's also faithful, but they don't know that yet. I think I know where everyone's heads at tonight. To be honest, the room's right choice. Do it then. And when you find you're wrong, I will be gracious. I will not be gracious about it. Oh god. So Fozia saying if you vote me, if you get us wrong, you vote me out. You I will. I'm gonna be better about it. Okay, here we go. Fozia votes for Jake. Celia votes for Nikki. That's not a surprise. Jazz votes for Fozia. Steven votes for Jake. Nikki votes for Fozia. Jesse votes for Jake. Alex votes for Fozia. Paul votes for Jake. Aaron votes for Fozia. Linda votes for Jake. Jake votes for Fozia. Coming down to the final vote. 5 votes Jake, 5 votes Fozia, 1 vote Nikki. Nick has voted for Jake, and that is Jake banished by both 6 votes to 5-1. So, that means Nick is the only traitor left. Well done, Steven, for saying Fozia, I would imagine. And Nick voted against his only other traitor. So now it's just Nick. Nick, Tart, and Story in that order. Who's the name? Not first being considered tonight. Well, not a choice because he's the only traitor left. And Linda has been recruited by Nick to be a traitor. Well, Linda, you got a second chance to win as a traitor here. So in the hallway. So, because Nick picked Linda to be a traitor, there's been no murder, so we've still got 11 players left. Nikki has got a whole heap of suspicion on her. Celia's got a lot of suspicion on her as well. Alex, Jazz got quite a bit of suspicion. Linda, Jesse in a good position. Aaron's got a bit of suspicion on him again. Nick, Stephen, Fozia, and Paul all on a very good good position in the suspicion level of things. So we've got 11 players left, 9 faithful and 2 traitors. It's so funny that Linda is a traitor again for me. Okay, here we go. Steven strikes on purpose. Jazz shuffles in. Aaron sits in quietly. Alex hesitates. Fozia looks like they barely slept. And they see that everyone's here. Aaron looks almost too calm about it, and let's put suspicion on him. Linda counts the chair without saying anything, draws time, so a bit of suspicion on Linda. Fozia pushes their food around the plate without eating any of it. Jesse breaks the silence first. Right then, who's going to say what we're all thinking? Shifting a bit of suspicion. So Linda and Nick have a moment before others coming down. Brief, easy. The alliance feels solid, so a good relationship between the two of them. This could be what Nick is needing, a traitor he can trust, and he's thinking he can trust Linda, it looks like. Maybe. Paul says story at the dinner table. It's got the whole room laughing, so let's put a good relationship for Paul and everyone else here. Nikki knows to Paul that Jazz has never once led a charge, so Nikki is trying to put the seed of doubt onto Jazz, go to Paul to try and make Jazz look like a traitor, which I guess makes sense because Nikki, I think, is coming into this episode with a heap of trouble and quite a bit of heat on her. Paul tries to open a push door by pulling it for an embarrassing long time. Nikki starts keeping a running commentary on everything happening in the castle. Steven and Nick are the only ones who find it funny. They find it very funny, so that's put a good relationship with Nikki, Steven and Nick. So good stuff there for Nikki. Linda pulls people aside one by one, makes the same case each time. Nick is not the one, it's not a campaign. So Linda is actively defending Nick. Take the suspicion off of him. So Linda got recruited and she's immediately trying to get people on Nick's side. Unprompted, Paul tells the group that they stake their game on Linda's honesty. So Paul is actively putting suspicion off of Linda. So Linda helps Nick out, and then a Faithful comes over to help Linda out. That's quite funny. For Paul. Oh, Linda wins the shield, so she's protected from the night's murder, so any Faithful could get murdered tonight. Before the round table, Alex finds Celia before the round table. Conversation is calm, the subject is Fothia, so Celia agrees with Alex that Fothia could be a traitor, so Fothia is still in trouble. And Fothia catches wind of it, and that's put a bad relationship between her and Alex. Jazz has been too quiet, Linda's telling Stephen. And Stephen is actually agreeing with Linda here, so that's put a good relationship with the two of them, and it's put quite a bit of suspicion on Jazz, interestingly. Nikki makes the case for editorializing just the votes. Paul is listening into Nikki, and that's put more suspicion onto Jazz. Linda's watching Nick work in the room and thinks too much, too visible, too polished, so that's put. Okay, so why is that put a bad relationship with the two of them? Is it because she thinks Nick is working too hard to keep suspicion off of him? Probably. That might be what it is, but for whatever reason, that's put a bad relationship. That's put a -1 relationship with the two of them. That doesn't make sense to me. Okay, so Nikki and Paul think their plans coming together to get Jazz bashed, and that's put a good relationship between the two of them. And Jazz makes a point of checking in on the most anxious players ahead of the vote, and that's put a good relationship with him and the other players. Though I think it's maybe because Jazz knows he's in trouble, but we'll see. Alan and Alex is agreeing that Nikki is suspicious, probably the most suspicious player here. So maybe Nikki could be in trouble, especially with the whole Celia thing. So Aaron and Alex agree. There's quite a bit of suspicion is onto Nikki. So I think it's going to be either Jazz, Fothia, or Nikki. So I think number 1 will be Fothia, 2 will be Jazz, and 3 will be Nikki. Okay, I'm wrong here. So Fothia is not up for consideration according to the prediction. Spearhead by Nikki, too dangerous. Nikki, spearhead by Aaron, being the top suspect. Okay, so from the beginning, Jazz is dangerous. I'm not changing of you now. Be straight with everyone in here. Whatever you decide tonight, you will remember that. Well, what have you actually done this All-Star season, Jazz? Because there's nothing. Because I can't really think of anything that you've done so far, to be honest. Nikki is the obvious place tonight. I'll be saying it out loud. I know my name's out there, but I'm not going anywhere without a fight. Protect the traitor, protect the traitor. Oh. Okay, so that's really hot in our minds, says of that vote. As on the wait, right, I'm going first. Someone has to. Scan across the table, they're always certain. Fine, someone's being honest, let's actually do something with it. So Nikki, already going for Jazz, so you benefited from every bad outcome of the season. I'm going to say it out loud because I think we'd be too polite to say it. So that's why I put a bit of suspicion on Jazz, and put a bad relationship between the two of them. Nikki is, of course, in trouble, so not too surprised that Nikki's going to jump in and go after Jazz. Me? Really? Before you lock in, explain to me what Nikki has been doing. Well, burning bridges with some players and bonding with other players. So Jazz, I would say, has got a good argument here, but we'll see how this goes. I mean, going back and forth from this, I'm not going back and forth anymore. I am with Nikki, so Linda's siding with Nikki here to put more suspicion on Jazz. I'm not saying no to the plan, I just want someone to explain Nikki's behaviour to me before we go further. So Linda has got put suspicion on Jazz and putting suspicion onto Nikki, interestingly. Love you all, really do, but I think you're wrong tonight, and Nikki is the name. So Aaron is wanting to try and put the focus on her to take the suspicion off Jazz. I'll say this once, I trust Jazz. I don't say that because many people don't say it about many people, and I don't say it lightly. So Nick is putting suspicion off of Jazz and put a good relationship between the two of them. Will that help him out? I don't know. I think it's going to be quite tight. I think it's going to be down to the last vote, like the previous one was. Faithful turns to Alex. You've been quiet tonight, Alex. Tonight, and Alex saying she's been listening. Well, that's soured the relationship between the two of them. So whatever has happened between the two of them, they're not happy with each other. Send Fiona home. Look where we are now. I need us to get this right for once, says Paul, which is fair enough. Fair enough. They need to get it right, but I don't think they're going to here. I think I know where everyone's heads tonight. I think we're honest. The room's already made his choice. Do it then, and when you find out you're wrong, I will not be gracious about it. So he is going to be better if he gets voted out. And let's see how it goes. Aaron votes for Nikki. Jesse votes for Jazz. Alex votes for Nikki. Steven votes for Jazz. Nick votes for Nikki. Celia votes for Jazz. Paul votes for Nikki. Linda votes for Jazz. Jazz votes for Nikki. Nikki votes for Jazz, so 5 votes Nikki, 5 votes Jazz, and the final vote is for Nikki. So Nikki has been banished thanks to Fothia. So with 6 votes to 5, Nikki has been banished. So that means, well, I guess we'll see what happens now. Then story in that order. Who's the name? Jesse trusts me, Ashley trusts me, which means eventually they're going to realise what that trust got them. Better now. Okay, so Linda and Nick are thinking of going for Jesse. And oh hang on. Jesse's the name we're doing. Sorry, one more thing before we go. Paul voted for one of us tonight. I need everyone to sit with that. The Traitors have a name in mind. Okay, they're going to offer someone to be a traitor, and they are going to pick Alex to join the Traitors. So we're back to 3 traitors. So we got Nick, Linda, and Alex. And because there's no murder, because well, they got recruitment. Fothia, Jazz have got quite a bit of suspicion on them. Celia's sitting pretty with in the suspicion meter. Aaron's got quite a bit of suspicion on him. Linda's in a good spot. Paul got suspicion on him. Good position for Nick. Wee bit suspicion on Jesse, and nothing on Alex. And Stephen Prince sitting pretty here. Okay, so 10 players left, and we've got 3 traitors. This is going to be interesting. So Linda's first down, helping himself tea. Paul enters quietly. Nick hesitates. Jesse slips in. Stephen drifts in late. Aaron comes in, clutching their mug, and they see everyone is here. Stephen counts the chairs without saying anything. The jaw's tight, so a bit of suspicion on him. Aaron looks at the traitors without knowing they're looking at the traitors. Fothia breaks the silence first. Right then, who's going to say what we're all thinking to shift the suspicion? And Alex grips their mugs tight and does not let go. Okay. Now we've got a hit list here. Whoever you pick must get this person banished today to join to the traitors. So Jazz has got to get a player banished, one of these players to be banished, to become a traitor. And who is it going to be? Celia pauses in the corridor before a round table, reading something in the pocket. They say something. If Celia gets Jazz banished, they will cross to the traitors tonight. So Celia will become a traitor if Jazz gets voted out. So that is going to be, I don't think it'll be a tough ask for Celia, but it'll be amazing if she becomes a traitor. Alex checks in with Linda quietly. No agendas, confirmation the other is still there. It is enough. So a good relationship between Alex and Linda, the 2 recruits, a good bonding session with each other. Nick pulls Paul aside and starts talking about Alex. So a bad relationship is formed between Nick and Alex, and a good relationship between Nick and Paul. So Nick and Linda recruit Alex. Is Nick going to try and get rid of Alex already? Oh, that would be... Oh god, this is not good. Gets back to Alex. Always gets back. Alex finds Nick later, makes it clear quietly and precisely they know exactly what's been said. So the relationship between the 2 of them is really bad, and there's a bit of suspicion onto Nick now. So yeah, I think Nick's trying to get Alex out despite just recruiting her, and now Alex might be wanting to try and get Nick out. So this is going to be a mess. This is a mess. Going to be the 2 of them, and that's going to put an awkward position for Linda. All-Stars telling a good story. Celia and Jazz are too proud to admit that they are scared, and has put a good relationship between Paul, Celia, and Jazz. Remember, Celia is trying to get Jazz out tonight to become a traitor, so this is going to be awkward if Celia doesn't go for him, or if Jazz stays. Linda isn't sure when Paul and Steven became so close, but regardless, that's put a really bad relationship between the two of them for some reason. They just know what happened without them. That part is what sticks. Is that to say Linda's jealous? I don't really understand I'm not really understanding the context here, but whatever. But regardless, suspicion is on bad relationship between Linda and Paul. Celia and Paul both think about the Jake vote, how the night went, where Jazz was in all of it. So Celia's making a move on with Paul to put suspicion onto Jazz. Nick dissolves the second staircase nobody else seems to know about. They use it smugly for the rest of the day. Okay. Spontaneous signing session breaks out, and Paul, Fothia, Jazz are the last one standing, so good relationship forming between the three of them here. Paul, Fothia, and Jazz. And mission failed. The pot is $165,000, and Steven wins the shield, so he cannot be murdered. Alex and Paul check in with each other before the round table. There are things unsaid, and so it's testing an alliance between Alex and Paul. And followed up with a good relationship between the two of them here, uncomfortable for a minute, but Paul saying that they're good. Alone in the tower corridor, Alex and Linda rehearse the roundtable scripts. So, trying to plan their move without trying to shift suspicion onto either of them. Linda knocks over an entire candelabra while making a point. The wax goes everywhere. Linda, what the hell? Celia puts it to Paul directly. When Jake was voted out, Jazz resisted it. Paul was there. Paul was there. I was. Then you know. So suspicion is on Jazz. Oh wow! So Celia really is trying to bring home Jazz as a traitor. She really wants to become a traitor. Okay. Celia, Fothia, and Jazz agree privately. Aaron goes tonight. Nothing else left to discuss. So Celia is putting in Paul, such as Jazz. Celia, Fothia, and Jazz are together, trying to put on suspicion on Aaron. Three people on one name before the round table starts. Someone asks why Celia Imrie sends concern. No clean answer. That's put suspicion on Celia, but a good relationship between them. I'm kind of confused what Celia's motive is here. Paul tells Celia they are already there. A good relationship between the two of them. Is Celia going to try and get rid of Jazz or not? I'm not sure what's happening with Celia here. Steve and Paul clash publicly with while Fothia tries to meditate it. That's put a bad relationship on all three of them, so that's not good. Jazz lays out the voting power for Nick. Nick's close to convinced that someone to be suspicious of is Aaron, so Jazz and Nick are trying to get Aaron out, it looks like. Jazz says vote them out with no name on it. It was clearly written by someone. It was unclear if it was meant to be found. Aaron's not there yet on Fothia, but they are listening to the vote's arguments more carefully now to put some suspicion onto Fothia. Well, so Alex and Aaron going for Fothia, maybe? Is that what's happening here? Okay. I was sorry it's gonna be Jazz gonna be in trouble, but I'm actually lost in what's gonna happen here. Okay, let's see who's at risk. Jazz is at risk, Aaron's at risk, Fothia's at risk. Okay, top suspect. Celia's going for Jazz, not surprisingly. Jazz is going for Aaron, Alex is going for Fothia. I've been patient with Jazz, double patient, the case is right there. I know my name's out there, but I'm not going with a fight. Aaron's the office play tonight, and I'll be saying it out loud at the round table. Coming from me, I do not understand why it's a mistake. Being patient with Fothia, being patient. Coming from me, I generally don't understand why it's a mistake. Protect the traitor. Okay. So Jazz, Aaron, and Fothia want the 5-3-2, so it's a tight vote. It might not go Celia's way, but you never know. Because Celia really is going to need this to work in her favour here. Because you all generally do, but one of you is lying a lying little nightmare, and I think we all know who. Can I just say Jazz is very busy today for someone who claims to be minding their business? I agree, and I think tonight is actually more important than some of the others have been, which was the case, because I think there's 9 people left in this game, so we're getting close to the end, and there's still 3 traitors among them. And it could end up being a 4th. The question I have been asking is simple. When has Jazz's vote actually helped this group identify a traitor? That's put a really bad relationship between her and Jazz, and put a good bit of suspicion onto Jazz. I'll answer any question 1, but I also really appreciate someone asking Aaron a few things I've been wondering about to try and shift the suspicion onto him. Fine, let me say one more time, and I'm going to need everyone to actually listen. So Jazz is going for it and to try and take some suspicion off of them. Every time I stayed when they shouldn't have, traced the votes, I did. I know what I found, and Fothi is saying that was Jazz going to try and keep the traitors in, so special to him. Has anyone actually put Aaron under any pressure tonight? Because it looks very uncomfortable over here. There, it says Linda. So Linda's trying to put this target onto Aaron. Nick's jumping in saying, I noticed that. Pivot to Aaron. I'm not saying Aaron is clean. I'm saying that was a very convenient moment to bring it up. Can we get Fothi's name on the table? Because I'm not going to pretend it is in my head, says Alex. So Alex is trying to get Fothi's head on the chopping block. I'm not asking the room, I'm asking Nick. Do you believe me? So Jazz is turning to Nick to try and keep him in. And Nick is trying to shift the suspicion to try and keep Jazz in the game. I don't know what everyone's... So Paul saying that doesn't know what everyone's starting about. Jazz being one of the most useful people here. Debatable. I don't actually know what Jazz has done in this game, but suspicion is off him, and good relationship between Jazz and Paul. Alex and Fothi lock eyes across the table. Whatever it is, it's a really bad sign for the two of them, so I think Alex might be going for Fothi. If I make the mistake, but when you find out I was right, I need you to remember this exact moment. Okay. I think it's going to end up being Aaron that's going to go, because I think Jazz has done enough to make it through this round table. So Alex votes for Fothia, Nick votes for Aaron, Linda votes for Jazz, so 1 vote Aaron, 1 for Jazz, 1 for Fothia, Aaron votes for Fothia, Jazz votes for Aaron, Steven votes for Jazz, 2 votes Aaron, 2 votes Jazz, 2 votes Fothia, Jesse votes for Aaron, Fothia votes for Jazz, Celia votes for Jazz, so 4 votes Jazz, 3 votes Aaron, 2 votes Fothia, and the final vote Aaron. Paul votes for Jazz, so that is Jazz banished, which means it is going to be hello traitoress Celia. So Jazz has been voted out, 5 votes, 3 votes, 2 votes. And let's see what happens now. And because of that, complete the mission, the castle gains a new traitor. So we're back to 4 traitors. Alex, Linda, Nick, and Celia. Oh my goodness. The name, Castle's thinking about Jesse, so thinking about Jesse. Throwing a surprise on anything while asleep. Shield change saying Steven is safe, we stay on the original target. And yeah, Jesse has been murdered. So that means there's 8 players left in the game. The most suspicious player is Celia. So she just became a traitor and she could end up getting banished. Linda is quite got a lot of suspicion on her. So does Nick, so does Steven, so does Fothia and Aaron. The only player who doesn't have suspicion on them is Alex, it looks like. Okay. So let's see what happens here. So 4 faithfuls and 4 traitors. This is going to be interesting how the rest of the game is going to play out. The pot, $205,000. Celia shuffles in, Linda's first down, Steven enters the room, Alex goes quietly, Aaron drifts in late, and they've discovered Jesse is the player that got murdered. Nick is to excuse himself for a moment, come back, grabs the lug tight, doesn't let go, Celia sits right still, stares at the empty chair. Fothi looks at the traitors like no one looking at the traitors. Well, half of them are traitors, so awkward. Alex passes Linda a wordless glance at breakfast, then their plan is already set. Fothia goes tonight, so Alex and Linda are putting suspicion onto Fothia. Celia and Linda find themselves in a long wandering conversation in the castle library, the kind that ends with both of them laughing too loudly, which has put a good relationship between Celia and Linda. Alex had planned to spend the afternoon with Celia, then finds a mid-laugh with Linda, so let's put a bad relationship between Alex and Celia. God. Celia just became a traitor. Don't tell me she's signing herself up to get banished as a traitor already. For the other hearts are more than they're letting on. Something said at breakfast landed badly. Retreat to the castle grounds alone. And they find Nick and Stephen, who essentially cheers her up. That puts a good relationship between with Fothia, Nick, and Stephen. Stephen is clearly now okay with breakfast. Everyone looks at the place except Fothia, who quietly pulls a chair over. And that puts a really good relationship between him and Fothia. Fothia tells Nick the thing they have been sitting on. When Jake was voted out, who blocked the longest and put the suspicion onto so Fothia and Nick are putting suspicion onto Aaron, so they're going to try and target Aaron to go. Nick and Stephen get into a heated debate about whether a hot dog is a sandwich. It devolves into 10 minutes of chaos, which puts a good relationship between Nick and Stephen, interestingly enough. Fothia gives a cold response to breakfast that confuses everyone, especially Celia, so that puts a really bad relationship on the two of them. So, Celia and Fothia are not on good terms with each other. And mission's complete, no shield. So let's see what happens here. Aaron finds Celia before the round table. The conversation is calm, and they're thinking of getting rid of Fothia, so suspicions on Fothia. Fothia watches Aaron with a group, so that's put a bad relationship on the two of them. Aaron rehearses the round table speech so many times he accidentally repeated to someone's face and not notice. Linda challenges something Alex says in front of Paul, and it is a performance. Audience will never come, but the alibi might. So, looks like Alex is using Paul to get some suspicion onto Linda. Interestingly, so wonder what Alex is up to. Nick realizes the pattern as Fothia is laying it out. They're never leading. They always landing safe. They always being wrong when it matters. Nick, it's too consistent. As trying to put some suspicion onto Aaron. Ask Aaron to explain her alibi, Nick says loudly, and that's put quite a lot of suspicion onto Aaron, so Nick is really piling it on here. Nick tells Fothia they're already there, and that's puts a good relationship between Fothia and Nick to try and get Aaron banished. Paul starts a quiet poll of the group. What do people actually know about Fothia? And that's puts suspicion on her. And Aaron realizes the parent as Alex laying it out. And that puts and Alex helping Aaron out puts the suspicion onto Fothia. So I think it's going to be Aaron or Fothia that goes. I'm pretty confident in that one. It's a split vote as well. So Fothia is after Aaron, Alex is after Fothia. Aaron's been around since the start. The fact that they've voted to protect someone who is slaves against trade just confirms what I already know. I'm not going around a fight, but as the office plays tonight, the current agenda is a mistake. Protect traitor, protect the traitor. It's top suspects. So this is going to be tight. Okay. So tonight, no performance on downside, just talk. We can do that. Aaron today, that's it. Aaron today says Fothia. I feel I've been enjoying this conversation all day. I'm still desperate for it. Fiona, Fothia, looks at Aaron directly. You and I both know this conversation was always going to happen, so that puts a bit of suspicion onto Aaron. Fothia, my case for Aaron tonight is the record, not my feelings. And the delivery then being off, which is actually backfired on Fothia, so that puts a bit of suspicion onto herself. I want us to get this right tonight, I really do, and I genuinely think the right answer is Fothia, so Aaron is shifting the focus onto Fothia. And I'm going to make it very direct. This is the wrong move. People in this room who know that and stay quiet will have to live with it, and that is coming across as trying too hard, so that puts quite a bit of suspicion onto Aaron. And Celia, I've been going through who votes which way are you trying to. Aaron's record has a shape to it, and that shape bothers me. So Celia's piling suspicion onto Aaron. Nick is piling suspicion onto Aaron as well. Aaron's been there for a while. And I'm not saying no to the plan, I just want someone to explain Fothia's behaviour. So Celia is putting suspicion onto both of them. I notice that the pivot to Fothia, I'm not saying Fothia's claim thing, it's very convenient moment to bring it up. With respect, no, my vote is Fothia and I'm not moving, so Alex is hell-bent on getting Fothia out. Aaron's turning to Alex. Have I ever lied to you once? Have I given you a single reason to doubt me? And Alex doesn't answer, and that's shifting to suspicions. Can I just please? Aaron has been nothing but honest in this game. I've watched this. This has got nothing. So Linda is taking the suspicion away from Aaron, trying to put a good relationship between the two of them. Paul, can I be honest? I still don't know, and I'm terrified of getting this wrong tonight. Well, you're going to get it wrong either way, if it's going to be Fothia or Aaron. I think Nick has been very selective about what they choose to contribute here. Very selective. That's what Aaron's saying to Nick, and has formed a really bad relationship between the two of them there. If I made a mistake when you found out something tonight, you think that moment, right? No. Okay, here we go. Nick votes for Aaron. Aaron votes for Fothia. Fothia votes for Aaron. Paul votes for Fothia. Steven votes for Aaron. Alex votes for Fothia. So 3 votes Aaron, 3 votes Fothia. Celia votes for Aaron. Linda votes for Fothia, so it's a tie break, so it's a coin flip, and the player to go is... Fothia has been... she got lucky with the first coin toss. The second coin toss, it's not gone her way, and that is her bash from the game. Okay. Sorry, Steven, I think. Let's just feel right to know what I'm doing wrong. Steven's the name. Get your story straight. Okay, so it's going to be Steven that's going to get murdered, so that is going to be it for Steven Libby. Yep, he has been murdered. So there are only 6 players left in the game. 4 traitors, 2 faithfuls. Alex Gray's got a lot of suspicion on her. Amory, Celia, and Nick are alright. Paul, Linda have got a bit of suspicions. Aaron's is looking okay for the time being. There we go. 4 traitors, 2 faithfuls. The prize pot at $225,000. Linda looks like very slept. Aaron hesitates in the doorway. Celia enters quietly. Paul wanders in. Alex appears in the doorway. Nick strikes him on purpose, and they see that Steven got murdered. Aaron whispers something under his breath. Nobody catches it. Alex makes a dark joke to cut attention. Linda sits very still and stares at the empty chair. Paul immediately looks around the table, reading every face, adding a bit of suspicion. Nick counts the chairs without saying anything, or jaws time, adding a bit of suspicion. Celia looks almost too calm about it, barely flicker. That is not lost on the table, and that's adding a bit of suspicion. Alex watches Linda across the table and feels the first real flicker of something uncomfortable. Not a doubt, not yet, but adjacent to it, so a bad relationship is formed between Alex and Linda here. Paul has a hard morning and letting on. Someone said breakfast landed badly. Something said breakfast landed badly. Treated the cows to be alone. And Paul gets a good little relationship going between Alex and Linda here. 2 of the 4 remaining traitors, as Paul's one of the 2 remaining faithfuls left in the game. Nick and Paul have become genuinely close in a way that Linda didn't see coming, and that's formed a bad relationship between Linda and Nick here. Paul says the quiet part out loud. Every time a traitor should have been caught, Aaron was on the wrong side. So Paul goes up to Celia, and that's helped putting suspicion onto Aaron. Aaron storms off after a minor disagreement. Paul falls checking him, and it become incredibly awkward, so that's put a really bad sour taste between the 2 of them. Paul and Celia discover the castle as a telescope on the roof, spend the morning looking at absolutely nothing. Paul attempts a dramatic entrance through the wrong door and walks straight into a broom cupboard. On the way to go. And no shields. Aaron finds Alex behind the table. The conversation is calm. The subject is Nick, so Aaron and Alex putting suspicion on Nick. Nick watches Aaron move across the group, and that's put a really bad relationship between the 2 of them. I think it was already bad before, and I think it's getting really bad now. Alex pulls Linda aside before dinner. The conversation is short but not warm. 2 plans, 1 round table. Something has to give, so Alex and Linda pretty split on what to do. Celia and Paul are not fully aligned on Aaron yet, but Celia and Paul looking like they've got a bit of suspicion on Aaron, thinking he's a traitor. Celia spends 10 minutes explaining their full post strategy to the camera crew, who are not allowed to respond. Alex pushes back on Celia directly. Are we sure about Aaron? Puts a bit of suspicion on Celia and a bad relationship between Alex and Celia here. So Alex is putting some doubt onto Celia's plan. I don't trust you and I haven't for a while, Aaron says to Nick, and the next thing the feeling's mutual, so quite a bit of special in each other and a really soured relationship between them. Nick and Linda are not fully aligned on Alex yet. Linda wants one more piece of evidence. Nick thinks the record is already enough. So so got two traitors thinking of getting rid of another traitor, thinking about getting rid of Alex, interestingly. I'm gonna say it's gonna be between Aaron and Alex. Let's go with it. I would have thought the four traitors would just get rid of Aaron and Paul, but it's not gonna be as straightforward as it. No. Not straightforward at all. Celia after Aaron, Nick after Alex. Aaron's the office play tonight. If I go tonight, the worst decision the group's made. Yes, well, they already made the worst decision. That's getting rid of Fosia. That's put the last ditch effort to keep the Faithfuls in the game. Alex cannot stay. Every episode they stay. It gets hard for the rest of us because vote to protect someone who related to the traitor. Names the mess, but ask yourself who benefits from me leaving. Protected traitor and protected the traitor. Done the math 3 times. The answer keeps getting the same. So something Aaron said today has been stuck in my head. Not what they said, how they said it. Celia says, and Celia trying to. When Jake went home, Aaron voted the other way. That's a fact. The fact lies in my head every time I look at Aaron at the table. The delivery is off, and the suspicion ends up going on to Celia's way. So I'll be amazed if it's a traitor goes home after all this. I don't know how to find a feeling, says Aaron, but can I ask you to look at Alex before you decide, because something isn't right either. So Aaron tries to shift the suspicion onto Alex. I would like to formally object. I feel like that should be on the record, but that has gone not the way he hoped for, and that's more suspicion added on to Aaron. I've been going through who voted, which actually Aaron's records shape his sword, and that enthusiasm has backfired. So Paul's put suspicion on himself. So Celia, Aaron, and Paul have made arguments, and they've all backfired. What on earth is going on here? Before we all lock in, is anyone else bothered by how relaxed Alex looks right now? Because I am. So now Nick is shifting suspicion onto Alex, a fellow traitor. We're not talking about Alex right now. We're talking about the name that was already on the table. Paul said trying to put the focus back on to Aaron. We might not align tonight, that's fine. Some of you know exactly why I'm voting for Alex, Nick says. So Nick's just saying, doesn't matter, I'm not budging. I'm not asking the room, I'm asking Alex, do you believe me? So Aaron's asking Alex to trust him. Okay, why? What is Aaron thinking? Is he voting for someone else? Who's he going to go for? Is he going for Paul? Aaron and Nick lock eyes across her. Whatever is between them doesn't need to be said loud. It's already there. And God, the relationship is already atrocious between the two of them. It's just worsened. Something shifted in the last row, and I don't think we talked about enough. The numbers didn't add up the way I expected. Are we doing this or not? Because I've got a read, and it's Aaron. Someone confirm it for me. Okay, here we go. Paul voted for Alex. Celia voted for Aaron. Alex voted for Celia. So one for Aaron, one for Alex, one for Celia. Nick has voted for Alex. Aaron's voted for Alex. So Alex is banished. What? 4 traitors, 2 faithfuls, and yet one of the 4 traitors got back. 3 of the traitors got rid of Alex. 4 for Alex, 1 for Aaron, 1 for Celia. What on earth has just happened? Well, we're a traitor. Linda and Nick vote against their own. So, bad relation. So Celia's the most suspicious. Linda is on very good terms. Aaron's not suspicious. Nick and Paul not suspicious. So Celia is the one in it looks like she's in a lot of trouble here. Well, it's the finale. We've got 3 traitors and 2 faithfuls. The question and the prize pot of $225,000. Question is, how's it going to play out? Paul sits in quietly. Linda arrives and immediately starts making toast. Aaron comes in clutching a mug, and Celia dressed in late. Nick shuffles in pouring coffee and stares out the window. Paul takes himself a moment. Celia sits very still and stares at the empty chair. Aaron makes a dark joke to cut the tension. Linda looks almost too calm about it. And Nick was some under breath. So best suspicion on Linda. Nick said something yesterday that Linda is still turning over. Not wrong, just not how Linda would have played it. So the relationship soured them. Are they going to get rid of Nick next? Like, this is going to be. I imagine this is going to be a very bizarre finale. Celia has a hard morning, then they're letting on. Something said breakfast went badly. They retreat to the castle grounds alone. Paul finds Celia outside and stays with them. Nick turns up 10 minutes later with tea. Nobody mentions that Celia notices exactly who showed up. And so a good relationship between Celia, Paul and Nick. Linda brings up Paul's name without being asked. Just want to say I trust him completely. So Linda is taking suspicion of Paul for some reason. Paul says the quiet part out loud. Every time a traitor should have been caught, Aaron was on the wrong side. So that's adding suspicion onto Aaron. So Aaron got suspicion added on thanks to Nick and Paul. Somehow Paul manages to be completely present with everyone today, and that's taking a lot of suspicion off of them. Nick mistakes a suit of armor for one of the other players. The screaming is heard from 3 floors up. But mission failed. So the final prize pool is $225,000. So here we go. Linda finds Nick before the round table. The conversation is calm. The subject is Celia. By the end, Nick is nodding. So Linda and Nick are thinking of voting out Celia. Celia watches Linda move through the group, and so the relationship is bad between Celia and Linda. So 2 traitors, I think, are getting rid of another traitor, and if they succeed, then there'll be 2 traitors, 2 faithfuls. So this is what is going on? Aaron gets this idea of their own head for the round table that they walk into the wrong room twice and end up in the castle's cupboard. Well done, Aaron. Nick and Paul ask Paul to think back through every round table who Aaron voted for, and Nick and Paul getting suspicion add on for Aaron. Linda makes a point of checking in on the most anxious players ahead of the vote, and that's put a good relationship with Linda and the rest of the players. Paul tells Nick they are already there, so Nick and Paul agree definitely on the right on the same wavelength of thinking Aaron is a traitor. Aaron names Nick in front of the group not as a traitor accusation, but as someone they no longer trust at all, and suspicions raised on both of them, and the relationship is somehow even worse. I don't know how it can be as worse, bad as it already is. Paul confided in Nick, and Nick told Aaron. All 3 are now in a bad place, so the relationship between all 3 of them are really bad. Aaron and Linda agree the Alex vote was the one that made it obvious. Everything since then has confirmation. The case for Celia closes tonight, so Aaron and Linda are thinking of getting rid of Celia. So who's at most risk? Aaron and Celia, I think, the ones that are in trouble. Yeah, top suspect. Aaron has been on my radar since the start. The fact that votes, no names out there. Been patient with Celia. I'm done being patient. The case is right there. If I go tonight, it's the worst decision this group's made. Well, I actually agree with her in this case. Not the way you'd think. Nick's going after Aaron. Aaron is going after Celia. Protected the traitor and protected the traitor. Okay. Oh. God, it's good. I can't believe this is good. This is taking me nearly 3 hours to do. The interesting group tonight is someone going to face on the Aaron situation from today. I'm not going to act when it didn't happen. Finally, someone being honest. I'm going to get ahead of this. Yes, Aaron, I have problems. Yes, I will look this will look personal. I don't care how it looks. As Nick is putting suspicion onto Aaron, but Nick's got a point because him and Aaron really despise each other. Nick looks around for a moment. You've been very calm for all this. Unusually calm. More suspicion on Aaron and somehow an even worse relationship. Linda, Aaron, darling, walk me through today, all of it slowly, and I want the full story. If Linda's piling on Aaron here, my honest reason, since you're asking, Celia has been for a while. It's time to read it louder, so Aaron's going to try shift suspicion onto Celia. I would like to formally object. I feel like that should be on the record, as Aaron's got a massive amount of suspicion taken off of him, it looks like. And Paul is trying to add suspicion back onto him. I've been waiting for someone to say that Aaron has been running a game on all of us. Before everyone locks in, I'm not saying this question is real, I just think we should hear Aaron out properly. Linda's saying that to defend Aaron and get a good relationship to the two of them. But I think it's Linda's trying to doing a plot to try and get rid of Celia, which I still don't understand why. I think I know where everyone's heads tonight. You're going to do what you're going to do. I just need to make sure I showed up. I was honest and I'm not a traitor. Okay, here we go. Aaron, first vote. Paul votes for Aaron. Linda votes for Celia. Celia votes for Aaron. Aaron votes for Celia, and the final vote. Nick votes for Aaron, and Aaron has been banished. 3 votes to 2. It was going to happen at some point. Aaron has managed to escape so many chances of being banished, and it's taken to the finale to finally put the nail in Aaron's coffin, it looks like. And Castle's Breath. The final players must now decide shield what they know in the game or risk another banishment. So, Paul's the only faithful left. There's 3 traitors left. Let's see what happens. Linda, Nick and Celia chose to end the game. Paul chose to banish the game. Fair enough, because he's the only faithful left. So, here we go. Let's see what happens here. So, Linda is still trying to get rid of Celia. Celia is wanting to get rid of Paul, which it would make sense to Celia get rid of Paul because Paul is the only faithful left in the game. Celia's I vote Paul because they've never pushed for a vote or taken a clear position on the table. They're coming for me and I generally don't understand why. Paul is because they're all traitors. That's why they're going for you. Protected traitor never takes a stand. Okay, I'm going to say this name. Right, not too bad. Celia has benefited from every bad outcome this season, so Linda is going right for it. Bad relationship between her and Celia, and suspicion is on to Celia now. I don't know if anything, but Celia is going for Paul, but can I ask you to look at Paul before you decide? So Celia's going for, yeah, Paul. I'm going to be very direct. This is the wrong move. The people in this room who know that and stay quiet will live with it. So quite a bit of suspicion taken off Celia here, more than what Linda was able to put on Celia there. The Alex vote, Celia's position at night, that's why I haven't been able to move past. That has backfired on Nick here, and that has put suspicion onto himself. They don't actually put Paul under any pressure tonight, so Linda is deflecting onto Paul now. Which is strange because Linda's trying to get rid of Celia. Celia turning to Paul. Have I ever lied to you once? Have I given you a single reason to doubt me? Celia is trying to shift the suspicion. I don't know how everyone's so certain. Celia has been one of the most useful people here, so Paul is taking suspicion off Celia, which is good. Put his own nail in the coffin if he does that. So, but increase the relationship between the two of them. 32 names and 9 sides moving. I don't know how to fight feeling. I just don't know where I'm not. I don't know. I was so certain it's going to be Paul, but Celia could bash. I think it's going to be a coin toss in the two of them, honestly, for all I know. Here we go. Linda votes for Celia. Paul is voting for Nick. Nick votes for Paul. And for the final vote, Celia votes for Paul. So the last faithful is banished. That means there's only 3 traitors left. So Paul, 2 votes to 1 to 1. 3 players are left, and they are they're all traitors. And yeah, they've all chosen to end the game. So Linda, Nick, and Celia, 3 traitors, have won. What a season that was! That was a very, very crazy season. So congratulations to Nick, Celia, and Linda for winning the Traitors UK All-Stars season. And I hope you enjoyed this bonkers of a season as much as I did, and well, what an all-star season that was. Linda Rance, Celia Imrie and Nick Mohammed coming out on top. 3 traitors making it to the end of the game to take home the All-Stars, the Traitors UK title. Quite a lot of highlights, lots of very interesting tower events we've seen throughout the season. We had the fake banishment from the first episode, followed up by Kieran being murdered. In a very, what I thought was a very strange move at the time I did this recording, and I still think it's a bit strange, but the traitors, one of them did, and that's what they got. Tom and Jake, the amount of times they fell out with each other, just we knew they were going to get banished pretty early on because they just hated each other for some reason for that simulator. We've had the Haran being forward so many times, and so many times he manages to escape being banished, only to eventually fall at the final 5. And in the final 6, we had 2 Faithfuls and 4 Traitors, and you would have thought a Faithful would have gone in the final 6. But nope, the Traitors turned on Alex for whatever reason. I don't know what she did, but she did something that got her banished, and then apparently Aaron turned to her to essentially help him stay in the game, and he votes Alex out, and Alex tried to get rid of Celia. Then we had the final 4 when it was just Paul left, the last Faithful standing, and what I thought would be a 3-1 vote ended up being a split vote where it came down to Nick to essentially make it only 3 traitors left in the game. Then we had Linda, who executed Madeline, and then the very next episode gets recruited to be a traitor again, and only this time she went on to win the game. So very well done for Linda. You played as a traitor twice, and this time you finally took the title home with you. So I hope you enjoyed this that little simulator. What was your favourite highlight in the All-Star season? Are you happy with the result, or are you disappointed with who didn't win? You can always let me know in the comments, and I hope you enjoyed the video regardless, and I'll see you next time.